Welcome back to Casuregni. It is the 1st of Funzen, and the Red Wardens are currently in the holy city of Iosan, waiting for the Temple of the Sky Queen to summon them back to discuss Beck's impending doom, possibly.
Yay!
Beck did get a chance to meet his daughter, however, though things didn't go quite how he would have liked, finding out that she has romantic feelings for a boy.
No boys.
Disgusting.
Some of the
No
others
boys
managed
allowed.
to do some exploration of the city, Nira finding out that her father was in town, having been summoned by the Temple of the Ice Father. Star Eye took a little jaunt over to the Temple of the Wild Daughter and had a brief conversation with the High Priestess there. Also, there may be some random sounds going on in the background today. We have dogs barking, cats meowing, and the DM is getting over the flu. So,
My cats are always meowing.
your cats are always meowing, and I always love hearing them. But nonetheless, we persist. The horrors persist, but so do we. And so this is where we pick up. The group had come back together at the Temple of the Ice Father. Drago still munching on his fish on a stick. Everyone else just kind of sitting around, kind of waiting,
Existing.
existing.
Celia's kind of just inside, feeling very uncomfortable during all of this. And, as it happened last time, Starry is not in the building, but she's not far, but she's not in the building currently either. But yeah.
Is it a new day or is it the same day?
It's the same day.
Okay. So, are we all at the Temple of the Ice Father?
Yes.
Except for Sorry?
No, Starry's there as well. She was picked up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's just outside of it. She's not in the building, but she's still there, if that makes sense.
And we're just waiting on the Sky Queen temple people to come back for us.
They said they were going to reach out to parties unknown to you to discuss your mysterious illness, and that they would summon you back after they had spoken to them.
I think Beck would become antsy and start pacing.
Well, I'm gonna go look for Star Eye because I need a break from my notes and being here.
Stara, you are currently just outside of the temple, correct?
Correct. She has not ventured too far. She's kind of just like pacing back and forth, like one arm crossed, but like with the other one like resting, like resisting the urge to like chew on her nails as like she's just trying to think right now.
Are you okay?
Not exactly. Just trying to figure out what to do right now, I guess.
You about what?
I don't know. I'm feeling bothered about everything going on back at home, with the undead, and I guess just extremely upset that, you know, the leader of my country, the High Caliph, she's not willing to put aside whatever her differences are for the sake of her people. It feels like just to talk to somebody that could possibly get help.
We can go talk to her about it. If that would make you feel better.
I mean, it would. I don't know how the conversation will go, but I don't know if she'll listen to me, but
I mean, I'll go with you, and if she doesn't listen to both of us, then, shame on her as a leader, I guess. I hate saying it like that, but
I mean, yeah, because I mean, think about it. Well, the Ice Father isn't our, like, my people's god, or at least not primary one. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there should be some fashion of respect with the fact that for another god's high priestess, even if it's, I don't know. I don't agree with what's going on.
I mean, a lot of people find this Ice Father either terrifying or they don't take him seriously. I've grown used to it at this point. Doesn't mean it's a good thing,
Mm,
but we can go talk to her.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know where she is?
that's the thing I was trying to figure out. I know that Aggie, she's the high priestess for the Wild Daughter.
Okay.
Had mentioned she's been in a lot of meetings. Some with the, I think she said the high priestess for the Sky Queen. Some other people, basically everybody except for meeting with literally everybody else.
Hmm.
So
Oh, the
yeah,
lengths
I
she'll
don't exactly
go.
know. Aggie might know maybe where she is right now.
We can go ask.
I'd appreciate that. Trying to remember if this is me out of character. I'm trying to remember if yours been to the Wild Daughters Temple at
I don't
any
think
other
so.
point. Okay, so
She
Sarah
stayed
will then, I
outside with
guess,
the
lead her.
cart when Arixibus was drunk.
That's right. Okay, I've. Oh, that was so long ago. uh, so yeah, she'll then show Nira how to get there. I don't think it's that far of a walk, though it's hard so hard to remember exactly with everything.
Thought the temples were fairly close together, no?
That's what I thought.
So basically, the way it's laid out is the Sky Queen's temple is in the center, and then the others are in like a circle around.
I just I couldn't remember in proximity to the Ice Fathers how close it was, but
They're
yeah. So
not right next to each other, but they're not that far.
It's not like
Okay.
the other side of the city.
Right.
oh, so how'd the talk with your dad go?
Not as poorly as I would have expected. His only concern is that Celebrin can't protect both of us if push came to shove. So he wants him to beef up. That's literally his only requirement at this point.
Are you serious?
That's what he said. Yes, that's what he said.
But
I
guess
was
that's a good
shocked. I
thing.
thought it would have been like, no, forever. Don't touch my child. Period. Get away. But no, no. I think it's reasonable. Now, if it's going to be doable, I don't know about that, but I think it's reasonable.
I mean, even if he can't beef up, as long as he can prove that he can protect both of you, I think that's the thing that matters in the long run, right?
That's what I'm thinking and hoping for. But no, I don't know. Maybe he's nuts.
Well, I don't know how much I can do to help in that department, being that, I mean, height and,
Right.
but come on, I mean, if a gnome can take care of herself out there, then surely we can help get Celebrin up
Yeah.
to your dad's standards.
Yeah. I don't like the face you just made.
Doesn't concern you right now.
Yeah, but I don't like
no.
it. Anyway. I'm assuming we're having that conversation while walking. Are we there yet?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Okay. All right, so Star will, look or poke her head into the temple. Not well, actually step into it, but see if who's about. Even if she can't find Aggie, she's gonna see if she can find anyone who looks like they help out at the temple.
You do find Aggie as she is preparing implements for some sort of ceremony.
Sorry to bother you again, Aggie.
Oh, it's all right, dear.
Oh, this is my friend, Nira. Actually, I was talking to you about her earlier. And her dad, but, yeah, that conversation didn't go too well.
You're Devin's child.
Yeah.
Your father is an interesting character.
So I've heard.
Anyway, what can I do for you?
You wouldn't by chance know where the High Druid is currently, would you?
She just came back in a tiff.
Another dead end, I'm guessing?
Your guess is as good as mine. She wouldn't talk to me.
Do you think it'd be possible to go talk to her? On what?
If you can get her to talk, by all means. Her storming around our temple is not doing us any favors.
I can
Did she ever
imagine.
pay us?
That's a good question. Because
Well, we were never actually able to.
yeah, because when Celebrant tried reaching out to her, she wasn't. That's why we couldn't go to
Thrash?
Thrash.
So she technically owes us an audience anyway.
Very true.
I will let her know that you're looking for her.
Thank you.
Just wait here a moment.
Star is just like rubbing her hands together as she's kind of nervous about this upcoming conversation.
The dwarven woman walks off. A little girl, dark skin. She's got 2 buns of just massive curls. The
Aww.
biggest green eyes. Walks up to you, Star Eye, and just is almost eye level with you. Just tugs on your sleeve a little bit.
Oh, hi. How can I help you?
You've got her blessing.
What?
You've got her blessing. She likes you. Bye. And then runs off into the temple.
Oh, okay. She just like looks up at Nira like wide-eyed, like, did that really just happen?
The fact that kids know things like that is really freaky.
Yeah. I mean, I was hearing from Aggie earlier. I mean, Cisa already kind of confirmed this whenever we were back at my home, but Aggie was the last person to ever see the Wild Daughter in person, and it was only such a brief thing. I've seen her how many times now?
Seen her, heard her. Hina's alive because of her. And you.
It's all very, very surprising.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, I don't really have to imagine it, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. It seems a lot of people in our party have connections to deities in one fashion or another.
Yeah. And they just kind of see deities when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You saw the
Very
Wild Daughter, I
odd.
saw the Sky Queen, and then we saw her all together later
Have you seen the Ice Father?
in a dream.
Hey, that's still something.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You guys are waiting for a little while before Aggie comes back. She's in a mood, but she will see you.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
she'll be nicer to you.
I kind of doubt it.
Well, if she doesn't get her act together soon, I'm sicking something on her. She doesn't
I
get to
say
come
that's
to
only
my
fair.
home and disrespect me.
Fair enough.
Well said.
Right this way.
Maybe say a prayer for us while we're in there.
Child, I already started. She leads you back through the halls. This place is like a giant log cabin. And it's very, very earthy smelling. There's lots of plants and animals throughout the halls. Lots of intricate wooden carvings telling stories and dedications to their goddess. It's a very beautiful, but very unique temple. It's almost like
So
being
it's just
inside
kind
of a giant tree house.
Fun times. Star's definitely like looking around, and in some fashions, like ways, just kind of trying to distract herself about the conversation to come, but also just admiring, taking in the building.
You're brought back to a larger open space. There is a seemingly natural water feature here. Stone slabs with a bit of a waterfall into a zero entry pond. And kneeling next to the water is the archdruid, Druidic Caliph, Antonia Fondire. Just as a heads up, this pool, sacred. It's a communion pool where we attempt to speak with the goddess. She has been trying to get the goddess to answer her. I think that part might be why she's throwing a bit of a childish temper tantrum. So
You should do it from back here.
just respect the pool, please. That's all I ask.
Of course. Of
Thank
course.
you. I'll be out front if you need me. Please don't set
Thank you
anything
very
on
much.
fire.
Definitely not.
Don't let her set anything on fire either.
She totally starts to think, did I cast create water today? Do I have that prepared? I do. She said, I can put things out.
So, she's
Sorry.
kneeling there.
Star is going to move closer, kind of like glancing back at Nira, like as she does so. She's kind of like torn between two things of like about whether or not to just like immediately talk or if I was going to offer a prayer to the Wild Daughter first. She's gonna go ahead and kneel beside Antonia by the pool
Okay.
and kind of give it a few moments to see if Antonia will say anything first, if she realizes that they're even there.
You kneel down. Antonia just kind of. You wanted to speak with me.
Yes, I did.
Congratulations on surviving Mukatara, by the way.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
Were you
I
able to speak to
managed to-
Korik?
Yes, and we managed to convince him we were real after a little bit. But we held him out there, actually. We did a lot of amazing things while there. But I'm sure that's probably not what you want to hear about right now. At least, being that my answer, what you requested of him, is not plausible.
Shh.
He has too many things on the island he has to watch over. And he has no advice to offer. Have you been trying to commune with the Wild Daughter to find an answer for what to do? How to proceed?
I've been. She's not answering.
May I try to aid you in talking to her? Can I try also?
Of course.
Um. So, well, I don't really have. I'm trying to think. Let me read out. Let me read this real quick to make sure I can do this or attempt to do this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cast divination while we're here at the pool.
Okay.
And everything after basically she would have started to pray in general before actually casting the spell. And as Starry prays, she's going to ask the Wild Daughter for guidance on what steps they need to take to help the people of Akronty.
Okay, what offering do you make?
That's the part I was trying to figure out. Let me see what store, because do Starry still has those mushrooms on her. She could offer the mushrooms she didn't think was poisonous. She's not positive, but she could offer those. That's what I will do. Because I don't really know what to offer.
Okay. Okay. There is no response.
Unfortunate. Sorry. Lets out a bit of a sigh. Before she kind of like mentally steels herself for what she's about to say. Maybe she's not answering because you already know what you need to do.
If I did, I wouldn't be here.
Haven't you talked to nearly everybody except for one person?
I've tried to gain an audience with him. He won't see me.
That's not who I'm talking about. You know the proper channels. I don't know why in particular. I don't know if you have something that happened or if it's just because of the way she was created. But you know what his standards are and who to reach out to.
She is the child of a devil. The king of the devils. Why would I ever trust her? Why does
Because
anyone
she was
trust her?
trusted by the god of death himself?
Forgive me, that does not put much confidence in her.
Okay. You care more about who she is than your own people?
Of course not. If I thought she could actually help, I would speak with her.
But
you
if the
can-
one person you're trying to gain an audience with needs you to go through her, why not just do it?
He has said himself if you go through the proper channels, he might actually
Might
listen.
being the key word. Might. I'm not risking my people's fates on a might.
You have more power on your side than you think, as long as you go through the proper channels. I know him personally.
I tried asking him myself, but that is what he said. And to note, I didn't have to talk to his high priestess first to even ask him.
I am aware of that.
So I'm
I've tried
hearing
approaching
back.
him directly as well. The only person that he will meet with, without going through the High Priestess, is the champion of the Storm Sword. The most random of things. It's infuriating. Fine. I will submit a request through Brenna.
Thank you.
Not that I think it will help.
Would you like us to
Isn't
take the
trying
request
better
to
than not
her?
trying for the sake of your people?
I have been trying, and I don't need you to pass judgment on me.
I'm not trying to pass judgment on you.
We're only wishing to help. After all, we took your message all the way to Mikotar Island where we could have died.
Yes, you seem to have come back unharmed.
Mostly.
If you are done, I would like some peace and quiet.
Okay.
Star will go ahead and get up and start to head out of the room. Kind of just letting out a deep breath once she's out of earshot.
Is it bad that she's going to submit a formal request, but I almost want to tell him that, no, you shouldn't help her because she's a jerk.
It's about more than just her.
I know, that's why I didn't decide that that's what I'm doing. Also, my father's incredibly busy as it is. He's the general of the military and a champion on 2 different sides of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if he had the time to fight someone else's war, I'd be impressed. I mean, I'm already impressed, but
Maybe there's something else about his connection with the Ice Father that's why Aggie thought that he was the one that she needed to talk to. I mean, does the Ice Father have any way of stopping undead besides, cutting them down with a sword?
from my understanding, all champions have some method of dealing with undead, but I need to ask him about it.
Well, maybe now she'll stop being a pain to Aggie?
Maybe. Oh, also, I noticed something when she was talking to you. Sorry, Siren. Did you notice she called him Korik? She's never called him by name before now.
I didn't. Now that you say that, yeah.
I don't know what to think about that.
That was a little strange, but.
Yeah. Something to ponder, anyway.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, we should probably head back. I didn't tell them I
Yeah.
was going anywhere, so they're probably, like, panicking that I'm gone or something. Anyway,
At least you're not
let's go.
gone alone.
That's true.
Back at the
She
temple.
can cover for me.
Back at the temple, we have Hina, Zelia, Beck, Drago, and Celebrin. And Severian, but. What are this group up to? That was totally bad grammar. I'm so sorry.
What is this group up to?
Yeah.
I was gonna leave it alone, but you
I
called yourself out.
I caught it after it left my mouth, and I was like, that was wrong.
That was yucky.
What are Beck, Amel, Hina, and Zelia up
Mel's
to?
not here.
Oh, freaking! I'm so used to that. What is Drago doing? I mean, I would love to know what Amel's up to too, but
Sorry, my roommate got back. I didn't hear anything in the last 2 minutes.
I'm asking what is Beck doing at the temple while Sarai and Nira come back from the Temple of the Wild Daughter?
Beck was definitely pacing, nervous about everything, but I do have reasons to talk to the High Priestess of the Ice Father. So
Okay.
I would like to seek her out.
Okay. And I know that Zelia had also expressed an interest in talking to her as well. Do the two of you want to go together?
As did Hina.
Oh, Hina.
Yeah, there's
Y'all
three of
just
us that
wanna
wanted to go.
Beck wanted to speak in private.
I mean, you could all seek her out together. Doesn't mean you have to all talk to her together.
Sure then.
Is Drago going to follow, or is Drago doing his own thing?
Drago's gonna do his own thing. He doesn't need to talk to some strange person he doesn't know.
Fair enough. So, Lady Brenna is just kind of going about her duties at the temple. There are not very many clerics here. You notice there's just a handful around at a time, so most of the temple duties tend to fall to her.
Celia looks a bit back and is like, "Do you want to go talk to her first? And we can try as a group, and then I don't know, give you space."
Yeah, I only need a couple minutes. I just wanted to ask her a couple questions, really.
Okay.
So I'll be right back. And Beck is going to walk up to her.
Okay. She's currently polishing the altar.
All right, I feel real bad. You just said her name and it has already left my mind. What's her name again?
Brenna. Brenna.
Brenna. Excuse me.
Yes?
I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions in private. Something relating to the Ice Father.
More private than this?
Well, as private as I can get, but I wanted to know the High Priestess' opinion on something that happened to me not too long ago.
Very well. I have a meeting space that I could bring you to.
That'll work.
You guys watch as Brenna leads Beck through some doors.
That's it. We're never gonna see him again.
Beck's dead.
I mean, he did already kind of die once, so
Exactly. Never see him.
She sits you down, Beck, and it's a very modest office. You can tell this is probably used for making funeral arrangements.
How appropriate.
Yes.
So I don't know what all you know about our group, but recently we had an expedition to Mukatara Island.
Oh.
And while we were there, we ran into a vampire. He had turned a boy into one of his vampires. And at the moment, we didn't know if we could cure him. I killed him. Briefly, at least. I attempted to set him free by killing him, only for the vampire to bring him back. And it was only through the intervention of Korik, the guardian of Mukatara, that he was cured. Now, obviously, I couldn't have known that that was possible, but in the moment, I thought what I did was right. I'd even dug a grave for him. My companions seem to think I'm some kind of monster for doing so. I just wanted to know if what I did was right. My thought of it was that I once talked to Devarian about the Ice Father. He said one of the tenets was to operate with respect for all life and death equally, which is what I thought I was doing. And without being able to explain that to my companions, they just kind of looked at me differently. I'm sorry, this is kind of a lot to drop on you randomly. Like, I just don't know if what I did was really wrong or not.
The thing with the Ice Father is, yes, you show respect for all life and all death equally. However, there are also tenets regarding the fated end of someone. If it was their time, then they are to be let go. If it was not their time, you are to fight to make sure that it's not ended prematurely. I cannot say whether or not it was that boy's time. So I cannot tell you whether or not your actions were just. Which deity do you serve?
I say Jerup. I'm not really profound or well versed in religious stuff. The Ice Father is interesting to say the least, but I've always felt like my leaning should be different. I've thought about checking out the Storm Sword eventually.
What I would
It's
encourage you
just
to
a
do, as a woman of faith, I would encourage you to find your faith and seek your absolution through your deity. Judge yourself by their standards, not by mine. And
okay.
I would say that I do find it strange that people would argue against the culling of an undead. That leads me to believe that there are extenuating circumstances that I am not aware of and perhaps you missed. It's very
The boy
unusual.
was roughly the same age as my companions.
That
I
does
think
not
that's
usually play a factor, as undead stop aging when they are turned.
from what we understood, he was only an undead for a couple months.
If you're really that concerned about it, have you tried speaking with your companions about why they were so upset over it?
Well, the last time we talked, it just turned into nothing but a screaming match. And we don't really do well with our emotions.
Well, that takes time to learn how to do. And if your companions are young, and I would argue that you yourself are fairly young.
35.
Not as young as I thought, but still fairly young.
Well, got that half-elf blood in me.
I would encourage you to come to your companions with an attitude of learning, a desire to understand. Don't try to defend yourself. In fact, I would remain as quiet as possible and let them speak. And then, after you have come to an understanding, again, find a faith that suits you and absolve yourself in the eyes of the deity that you choose. If that should be the Ice Father, I would gladly lead you through any number of routes to absolution. Or if it's through
Well,
another
not-
temple, no harm done here.
I'm not disinterested in the Ice Father. But again, I've always liked fighting. So Storm Sword just kind of makes sense,
You're welcome to go find out for yourself. Their temple is right next door.
I will definitely attempt, and thank you for the advice.
She just kind of bows her head.
Should I? This is going to be a weird question. It's probably the weirdest thing you're ever going to hear. Probably this month. Should I keep it to myself that I've tried fighting the champion of the Storm Sword when I go there?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Let the intrusive thoughts win, say it.
Because he technically stopped fighting me, so I won. But I should definitely keep that to myself.
You should absolutely keep that to yourself.
Let the intrusive thoughts win, say it.
Get out of voice in my head.
I,
Thank you.
What are the
for your time.
champions there?
in my defense, I don't know very much about the beliefs of the Storm Sword. I just know that their high priestess scares me.
Okay. I don't know anything about the High Priestess, so
She's a half giant.
I will try to. Oh, wait, isn't the champion also a half giant?
Yes.
I mean, he was
to
pretty
my
big when I saw him.
understanding. To my understanding, he is. I've never
I
met
think
him
we share a
personally.
name too, which is weird.
I will allow her to assist you.
Fair enough.
But
And
if I were you, I would
thank you again.
keep that fact to myself. But that's mostly because I'm
Will do.
terrified of her.
I will withhold judgment until I see her myself as best I can.
Very well.
Thank you again.
You're very welcome. Was I correct in
is
seeing that there were
there-
others waiting for me?
Yes. Real quick, is there a place I can make a donation to the temple since you helped me out?
Yes,
I mean, it
you
only
could.
feels right.
Any of the attendants here or Tavarian can help with that.
All right, I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna hand one of the attendants a celestial piece.
It's a young human boy who just eyes go wide as he looks at it. Thank you.
For the church. You're welcome.
He immediately goes to drop it in the box.
He's probably never got to hold a celestium in his life.
I'm gonna walk by Azealia and go, all right, thanks. You're up.
She's gonna like glance at Hina. Wanna go talk to her together?
Oh, sure. I mean, I had nothing private to say. Nothing that you
Same.
don't already know.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and head back to the room.
You head in, Brenna's there, hand on her head. Hello.
Hello. I had to hold back an intrusive comment there.
How can I help you?
Did you want to talk first, or?
I mean, I can. Do you mind? I'm sorry. This language is very new for me, and I'm just very blunt with it. So please don't mind me. But you're a tiefling, obviously. Which
Are you
who's your
asking?
parent? I guess. Sorry.
Honestly, I was a little bit curious also.
It's a common question for my kind. I am a child of Asmodeus.
Celia, cuz just like,
I have
oh!
never met him.
I'm sorry to say that only one of us can say that. Anyway,
What?
I thought you knew that. Anyway,
if she has been told, kind of went out of her head.
Yes, my sire was Asmodeus. That's all he was. A sire. I have no
right,
connection
and
with him.
I'm not passing judgment when I ask. I mean,
It's
you're here. You
understandable.
have this.
You would not be the first. There is no offense.
Right. I found it curious. Not because I think any less of you, because I don't want to give that impression off. It's just interesting. Can I say something that you might find completely unbelievable? And if you don't believe me, that's fine.
After the conversation I just had, I don't think there is much that could surprise me.
Oh, you.
Let me put it this way. I've only known this group for several weeks at this point. I really cannot remember how long she's
About
known
a
her.
month.
Month. They keep pulling out things that are more and more and more crazy than the last. And if it wasn't for her dad, confirming some certain things, I would not have believed any of it. But I'll let you continue.
All right.
Would you believe me if I told you? Oh god, this is so weird to say. I am the Ice Father's granddaughter.
You're the guardian's child.
I am.
I didn't think he had any living children.
Achieving
That was
either.
a recent discovery. It's part of why I asked about your parentage. I was left behind in an underground city, and I survived all that time. Which is really funny because then I was released from my stasis and then was kidnapped by Asmodeus of all people. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
I'm
I
here.
wish I could say that surprised me, but it does not surprise me.
I just. The fact that my grandfather picked. Again, this is going to sound really harsh, but the fact that my grandfather picked the devil spawn as his high priestess, it
Yes.
baffles me that no one seems to realize there's more to you beyond who your family is.
They can't get beyond that choice. If we're going to be completely honest here, they can't get beyond him.
Beyond
The Ice Father.
who do you mean? Oh, yes, that would make sense.
And if they can't wrap their minds around the god, how can they wrap their mind around his decisions? Especially when those decisions go against societal norms.
I forget that you guys don't see him from day to day like I used to.
That is incredible. And if you are willing, I have many questions. If you've actually
course.
met him in person.
Of course I have.
I would love a chance to talk about that at some point.
Of course. Whenever you have time.
So that would make you...
We're kind of...
If you're his grandchild, that would make you an ancestor to the royal family of Abai.
Yeah, technically.
I wonder if
Their
she knows the
direct
other Beck.
ancestor was my older brother.
Have you met the current emperor?
No, I wish to. But his son currently he left our group and is there and we're here. I met my other sibling's descendant instead.
Many questions that we don't have time for right now, which is so unfortunate.
Whenever you're ready, though.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore you completely.
Oh,
Child.
it's all right. I mean, she kind of somewhat touched on what I was curious about.
Were you also curious about my parentage?
I was more so curious as to, I guess, how you got your role as the High Priestess. I mean, so many of our people, even if they do father a deity, get shunned. So to see one at, I guess, in your position was what surprised me. Not even anything about your parentage itself, but
If you'd like, I could tell you how I wound up in this role.
if you have the time to.
It's not a very long story. I was
Go
raised
ahead and
I was raised amongst the Zuden Isles, very far from here,
I'm familiar.
and I served at the Temple of the Ice Father there. As a child, I was an altar attendant and nothing fancy. Became the assistant priest. And then one day an emissary showed up from Iosan, saying I had been summoned by the high priest of the Ice Father. They took me from my home and brought me to Iosan, where at that point, high priest of the Ice Father named me his successor. And from that day forward, I began to train to take on my current role. And then when he passed, I stepped into it. It came as a complete shock to me. And everyone else.
I can imagine.
Considering my
So
predecessor
it's not even
was
something you
human.
sought out.
No. I was handpicked from across the world, sight unseen.
So he never even met you.
Not before that day. He said
Part
that
of
he
me-
had a vision from the Ice Father of a tiefling girl whose name was Brenna. And he sent an emissary to the Zuden Isles with just my name and a physical description of me. And I was plucked from my home and brought here to take on this role.
Have you ever been back since then?
No. I'm sure there are all sorts of rumors about what happened to me there. Though I do communicate with the temple there on occasion.
I'm guessing that was a long time ago that happened, but is there anyone back there that you miss?
No, I was rather insular when I lived there. I was one of the younger children of Asmodeus. I'm sure he has plenty of them now, but at that time I was one of the younger ones.
I know one or two of them.
I'm assuming you are not a child of Asmodeus.
No.
Mephisto?
Yeah.
Your reaction said it all.
Kind of makes me wonder sometimes, how both of our sires would react if they knew
My
two of
father
their children,
knows.
myself and...
My father knows where I am and what I'm doing. Or at
It's
least
kind
the
of
Ice Father knows it
nerve-wracking.
does.
It's a little nerve-wracking, how much we don't really know that we can keep on tabs on everybody.
That's what separates the supernatural beings from us mortals.
Indeed.
It's comforting when it's our deities or their servants. It's terrifying when it's anyone else.
Especially when you happen to share their blood.
Well, I don't know. We have a grandchild of a deity right here. She shares blood with several of the ones we would consider comforting. It's not the sharing blood that makes it terrifying. It's the intent of the ones we share the blood with. that makes it terrifying.
That's true. I didn't mean
Imagine.
anything against your family,
Oh,
Hina.
no. Imagine the gods turned against us. How terrifying our lives would suddenly become.
Hmm.
And yet, there are figures like that lurk in the shadows. Some we may never know their names. And we have the gods to thank for our continued protection. Gods like Lotir, who work tirelessly, thanklessly, for our well-being. Only for us to question their actions.
I guess I never really thought of it that way. I've always just... I've grown so used to the ridicule from everybody else.
May I give you a word of advice? One devil spawned to another.
Might as well.
If you cannot be happy with who you are, and you continually try to find your worth in other people's opinions of you, you will always be broken. You need to learn to be okay with who you are. And then it doesn't matter what anyone else says. No matter how hurtful the words are. You know deep down it comes from a place of misunderstanding, ignorance, or just plain hatred. And it has nothing to do with you. And everything to do with them. And it makes it a little easier to bear.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
Trust me, it's a lesson easier said than done. May I ask both of you a question?
Of course.
The man with the dragon tattoo, he
suppose.
is one of your companions.
Yes.
The one that was in here before us, yeah.
He fought the champion of the Storm Sword.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Neither of us were there.
I know.
No, he sounds like an actual idiot.
I'm concerned because he was going over to that temple.
Oh no. And he is not the best with words or actions.
I
We should
advised
probably...
him to keep that fact to himself. He said he was going to preserve judgment until he saw the High Priestess. I am
Oh
concerned.
God.
I swear if he digs his own
Oh
grave
God.
again.
Maybe we don't have as much time as we thought.
We should probably go after
Please,
him.
by all means.
Oh, yeah.
I am not going anywhere.
All right, we'll talk later.
All right.
Gets up, or I forget if we were standing or sitting at this point, but goes and
Yeah.
tries to follow.
Meanwhile, Beck, you were headed over to the Temple of the Storm Sword.
Oh no, I said I was gonna go over there later. Beck's just chilling and sitting down
Okay.
at the table.
Okay.
So he just sees these two run out like, what?
Oh, you haven't left.
No.
Okay, so Beck, what? Fought the champion of the Storm Sword? Are you an idiot?
In my defense, he was attacking Devarian, and I was at a really bad place.
Severian's still on the other side of the room.
Tavarian is on the other side of the room. Tavarian hears his name and just kind of looks over. Like, what? And Celebrant.
Is he with someone at the moment?
I've forgotten. He is not with someone at the
Or-
moment.
Are Nira and Star Eye back yet?
Not quite. They'll probably be back in the
Okay.
next couple of minutes.
Nira has so much insight on this, but she's not here.
It was like, what? It was right after. Actually, Zelia doesn't know that either. It was after Tourmaline ripped my heart out. So I was in a really dark place. I saw a fight happening. I jumped in not knowing who it was. Turns out it was the champion of the Storm Sword beating up, or trying to beat up at least,
Who
the
may I
champion of the
add?
Ice Father.
Which no, there's a crucial piece of context to this. The champion of the Storm Sword is a half giant.
That
Who
too. He's a half
trained
giant.
in the military with Severian.
And you thought it was a good idea to hop into whatever fight this was between them.
It was
Period.
obviously not a good idea. I just said I was not in the right mindset. I did it anyways. I lived through it at his mercy. After I got flung 100 feet into a...
Oi. You're very loud. We have mourners. Shh.
Sorry.
Why are we yelling?
Yelling at me
Celia,
for what happened with what's his face,
We
the
weren't
Storm
yelling.
Sword champion.
We're not yelling at you.
You're the only one yelling.
We're questioning you. Because that sounds really stupid. But I guess you've provided enough context.
It happened. It's over. It's fine.
So, Tavarian, if I may ask, why was the champion of the Storm Sword fighting you in the first place?
It's apparently his bully or something.
Long story. I was his commanding officer in military training. I had to run him through many drills. We fought together all the time in Lotiro. He wanted to challenge me, kick my ass. I was not interested, and this one got in fight.
So, Beck, it was your fault.
What?
He was
How?
also very drunk.
Drunkenness does cause lots of stupid decisions.
And
I haven't been drunk in a while. I'm doing better.
And Nicole is not entirely not to blame. He was picking fight with me.
If he's anything like his god, that sounds right.
From my understanding, he is very much like his god.
Great. That tells me almost everything I need to know about him. And you said his name is Anacol?
Nicole Grimm.
That is everything I need to know about him.
We did share a name. I was right.
Surprised you remember
I mean, his is
that.
a last name. I remember some things. I remember hearing it like, oh, we share a name, but his is the last name, mine's a first name. But I don't use my first name very often.
I'm going back to work.
Have fun. Thank you.
I'll say at this point, Nira and Stareye are walking in.
Oh,
So
there
why were you two
are.
running after me?
Because we thought you were gonna go get yourself smushed by, I don't know, somebody at the temple?
What is Beck doing?
was gonna eventually ask for some guidance. I was thinking of converting to Storm Sword. And I had asked if I should keep that to myself, and she said yes. I'm gonna listen to a high priest. She's obviously smarter than me.
Beck asked Lady Brenna if he should mention in the Temple of the Storm Sword that he fought their champion.
The actual question was, should I just keep that to myself? Like, don't bring it up at all.
Feels like common sense, but okay.
I don't know, maybe they would have thought it was cool. Oh, you fought the champion and he didn't kill you. That's pretty interesting. Fighting is cool. I don't know. That's why I ask.
Or they could have questioned why. Like,
I would have told them what I told you guys. But I was told not to do it, so what does it matter? It's a moot point.
Anyway, did you guys have fun on your little outing?
If by fun you mean got snapped at by the leader of Aphrodite, sure, we had a blast.
yeah.
Hey, did we get paid?
No!
That's not what we were talking to her about.
Well, I mean, we were going to, but she was kind of being a bitch.
mean, that's fair.
Did we ever discuss what our payment was, or is that still up in the air?
She just said that we would
Probably
be paid
not.
handsomely. She probably didn't expect us to survive.
It's also probably not the best
Joke's
time.
on her then.
Hey, Drago. Wanna go look at stuff?
I suppose. What are we looking at?
I don't know, there's lots of temples, there's markets and stuff.
I do need to resupply, I guess.
I
Do
guess
you have supplies you need?
I could get some stuff. Don't necessarily need stuff, but just be sitting around here waiting for the Sky Queen's people to show up.
Right?
we probably should get you some different clothing, I think.
Celebrin, real quick, I have a question for you.
For me, okay?
Did you? You're not from the Fake Keep. You're from the Time Archivist, right?
Right.
Never mind then. Question's moot.
Gatekeeper's the one trying to arrest me.
I know. It was. It doesn't matter.
I know stuff about the
You
Gatekeeper,
answered-
though, so...
You answered my question already by answering the first one. My follow-up does not matter.
Okay. Come on, Draco, let's go to the market. Also, just as a heads up, I am totally using you as a meat shield if people of the Gatekeeper show up and try to arrest me.
I
How brave of you.
suppose that's fair.
Big, strong dragon dude. You
Yeah.
guys regularly call me a beanpole.
Yeah.
I've never called you that to your
I
face.
never
To
thought
my
it.
face.
I have.
Come on, Drago. So,
Speaking of, is there any other supplies we actually have to pick up, or are we good on that?
I mean, that kind of depends on where we're planning going after this. We do need. Oh, we need to get a horse. At least one.
Are we supposed to talk to someone about getting a horse, or
No,
we
we're
just have
supposed
to
to
go
go
buy
look
one?
for. We have to go find one.
I mean, is there a horse rancher somewhere around Yosan? I don't remember seeing one on our way in.
It's a major city, so there's probably somebody.
I mean, it's also animals. Animals you would usually find like a ranch or something. I mean, maybe this stable. I don't know. Well, it beats just sitting here, so I'll go look for a stable, I guess. If anyone wants to come with. All right. I'll catch y'all later then. Beck's gonna go look for a horse stable.
okay. So that leaves Zelia, Stareye, Mira, and Hina.
Okay, no, I need to split my characters up. Can Hina go with Beck?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would say Star is probably going with other folks, and then Julia. That way.
Is she
Not
gonna go with
too
Celebrin
conversation.
and Drago?
Yeah.
So it's 2 talls and a small. And then Hina and Beck. So that leaves Zelia, Nira. Yes. At the Temple of the Ice Father.
Yep.
So whose thing are we doing first?
Celebrin is just using Drago as a bodyguard so that he can go walk around. Because he's bored.
Unless they had
he's
some
not...
interesting conversation.
Do they have interesting conversation, Drago?
I don't know. Like, Drago's gonna walk around and look for just stuff.
Is Drago looking for anything in particular? With
Well,
Star Eye
he's
and
got a
Celebrin?
resupply.
There's plenty of places.
Mhm. Huh. What's good? Let's see. What does Drago need for supplies?
Is he going to the low-end shopping, the high-end shopping?
I mean, he's definitely window shopping. He's never been in this city, so he wants to see what there is.
All right, so there's two different districts of shopping. There's the Cauldra district, which is the low-end shopping, so the more affordable stuff. And then there's the Celeste Marketplace, which is the high-end shopping.
Well, he is not that rich, so I guess the low district.
Okay. There is a haberdashery. There is an eatery. There's a curios. There's a general store. There's an alchemist. And a butcher.
Butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker,
Taylor.
the tailor.
And then, of course,
Yeah,
there's
the
like
tailor
other
hates
stuff
Drago.
going. The tailor is in the Celeste Marketplace.
No, I was referencing
The
things.
Oh, okay.
tailor.
Of
Well,
course, then there's
I'll
always
just
like the
throw-
taverns and the inns and stuff. But
I mean, I'm just gonna resupply quick, so I guess just pick up some rations and I'll ask him if he knows of anything we need.
are you asking the Celebrin or the shop owner?
No, he's asking. Yeah, he's asking the shop owner. Shop owner, what do you need? I'll buy it for you. No.
I
Celebrin
need to get out of my crippling debt.
mood.
Who do you owe money to?
So you asked Celebrin what he needs.
Uh-huh.
Celebrin would honestly reply, "I need the Sky Queen's people to hurry up and tell Beck what's wrong with him."
We need to get you new clothes.
I can't buy that.
Getting you some new clothes and me new clothes would be helpful.
Yeah, especially being one of the first things that was pointed out when we got here was,
That I'm wearing
Your
the robes
beauty
of the Time
symbol?
Archivist. Yeah.
Which I
I'm not saying
definitely thought he had changed out of character, but
He put a cloak over top of it. Is what he did.
oh,
I didn't see a tailor in this district.
Yeah. Well, we can. If we haven't found a tailor here, then we should look for a tailor in the High District then.
just gotta be careful.
It's more likely going to be people there who's going to arrest me. Who
Well,
knows? Maybe you'll
if
have to
you
get into a
know-
fight, Drago.
Maybe. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, though. I prefer not to get arrested.
You were like the opposite of Beck.
How rude.
but he's not wrong.
Mm,
I don't know Beck enough to understand that.
Beck just likes to fight people.
He's very small. Probably not good for fighting if he's that small. But
He's only died
you're
once,
also
so
kind of small. Where are we staying for the night?
that's a
Huh?
good question. I know we're allowed to stay at the Temple of the Sky Queen, but I would rather die.
Then, inn of some kind.
I did see an inn as we were coming in, like leaving the temple district. Oh, what was it called? The House of Heart?
Is that the one that Star I stayed in during the beginning?
Stareye has stayed at the House of Heart.
I thought so. Oh, it's lovely there, actually. Very nice people.
Really?
Well, then we could head there to
Hmm?
see if they have availability.
I'm sure there are
Don't
other
mind going
inns
there
as
then.
well too.
Well,
It
if
has
you've
a nice
already
kind
been
of
at
homey
one,
feel.
well, let's go there then.
Sounds good to me.
So you guys purchase rations and stuff from the general store, and you head over to the House of Heart.
You'll have to remind me how much rations cost.
They
I
are
don't
a copper
remember.
each.
Okay.
Come into this little inn. It's a quaint little cozy cottage. Looks like something out of a fairy tale.
How tall is the ceiling?
Drago, if you just bounced, you'd be bopping your head on the ceiling. You have to duck
fair
to get under the light fixture.
Unfortunate.
The woman is a shorter human that runs the inn. She is currently sweeping. She looks up at her head just kind of keeps going and going and going until she sees Drago. So she's hello?
He smiles. It's a well-meaning smile, but he is very terrifying looking.
Hello!
Hi.
Hello.
He's nice.
We're needing rooms for the night.
I'm so
He's just
sorry
really big.
we're out of rooms.
No room.
We're booked up.
That's
I'm so
unfortunate.
sorry.
That is a problem.
Say it like that. She thinks she's gonna die.
There are other
There's
inns. If you
and
go
what
to the
would
Nyla
you
district,
recommend?
well, I don't know about recommend, but if you go to the Nyla district, there's at least 2 inns.
Star's
What
gonna
are
put
they
gold on the
called?
counter just to like. This is for warning you. I swear he's nice.
What are the inns called?
Well, there's the sleepy troll. That one is an inn and tavern. I would check there first.
I don't particularly like troll.
I don't think they have trolls there. I think it's just called that.
Oh, it's my first time in this city.
I can gather. The other one is, well, you can technically sleep there, but people don't usually go there to sleep.
Do they go there to eat then? I'm
No,
Those
feeling
places.
hungry right now.
there's plenty of eateries. If you
There's food here.
yeah, there's a fried meats place just down the street. And
Oh,
the
down the
butcher,
street. There's nothing to eat here
I
in this inn.
I usually only serve pastries for breakfast, but it's not breakfast time. I
This
could
is
warm
true.
them if you
It's
want.
not breakfast time. No, that seems like it would be inconvenient.
Okay. Celebrant is watching all of
Well.
this just chuckling.
I'm sorry to bother you.
So
then.
he's me right now.
Yes.
And Drago will just reach down and pat her very gently on top of her head, and then turn around and walk out.
I'm sorry. He just looks scary.
And I
She's
said,
gonna
I
need
will-
like a year vacation. Sorry, I feel like terrible right now. I keep forgetting that people aren't used to a lot of the folks we travel with. Well, you think?
So, while they are looking for something to eat, Beck and Hina are looking for a horse. Where are you
Yes.
guys going to go look for a horse?
Well, usually stables would be near the entrance to the town or something. So Beck would start there and work his way back.
Okay.
I mean, I was just gonna ask a townsperson if they knew anything about like available horses or something.
Okay.
I mean,
So
that
are
also
you
works.
asking in the temple district, or where are you going to ask people? So there are 4 districts in Iosan. There's the temple district, the Coldra district, which is the low-end shopping zone, the Celeste
Mhm.
marketplace, which is the high-end shopping, and then the Nyalad district, which is like the slums.
Can I make a quick stop at our cart, actually?
I don't see why not.
I want to pull out. I'm pulling out 2 of the healing potions from our party inventory.
You got it.
Because not having access to that or our potion of heroism on Mukatara was annoying. And I'm going to make a withdrawal of a little bit of silver. Because I only have 2 silver.
Oh, right, because he doesn't have that much money.
And
I
Mel is
guess
not
we
there
could
to yell
start
at you,
with
so
Temple District.
okay. You're just gonna stop a random person on the
What
street.
was it?
Someone who looks like they'd know.
And
That
what
she
does
doesn't know
a
what that
person
means, but
who
she's gonna
knows
try it.
look like?
Someone who looks equestrian. I don't know.
What?
He
does
doesn't know what that
know
means.
what
Just
happened.
gonna go for it.
What does?
Okay. Someone who likes horses or something. I don't know. Just I'm gonna stop a random person.
A random person. Thank you. Okay.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You stop a young woman.
She's gonna go for somebody based on appearances, but it's not gonna work.
You stop a put together looking young woman.
Hi, I have a quick question. Sorry to interrupt. Do you know where the stables are by any chance? Or at least somewhere we could purchase a horse?
Purchase a horse.
I know it's an
don't-
odd request.
I don't know about purchasing a horse, but you could check with the Temple of the Wild Daughter to see if they have any horses that could be willing to part with, or you could check with the Shroud Guardians. The only stables that I know of are near their training grounds. There's one in both the Celeste Marketplace and in the Coulter District. Those
Okay.
would be my guesses.
That works. Thank you.
Very welcome.
So we have a couple leads. We could ask the Temple of the Wild Daughter, or we could go to the Shroud Guardians. But they already had us return their horse.
Sounds like Wild Daughter's our best guess then.
I feel kind of bad leaving money at a temple and it's taking their horse. We already stole a horse, damn it. I couldn't stop that one fast enough.
I mean, sizable donation. I'm sure they'll help us out. It wouldn't hurt to ask. Worst case scenario, we just have Drago carry us for a bit until we find a horse.
I
Yeah,
feel bad putting that on him, though.
I mean, he did offer. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
no.
He offered, but that still feels like we're using him.
Well, the other animal we have isn't big enough to pull the cart yet. And Star Eye said no. I kind of tapped my tattoo.
Oh, right. I mean, maybe the Shroud Guardians would be willing to part with it if we paid for it.
Maybe. Again, wouldn't hurt to ask. Worst they can say is no.
True. Or they can find some way to arrest us for some reason.
Wild Daughter first, then Shroud.
I mean, we're already here. We might as well, I guess.
All
Something
right.
to note is you will pass the Temple of the Storm Sword on your way to the Temple of the Wild Daughter.
Beck is not ready to go in there yet.
Fine, just wanted to point
I
that
mean, I'll
out.
stop for I'll stop for a second, like look at it. It's like, no, it doesn't feel right yet.
What does it mean to feel right?
I don't know, just not prepared for that yet.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. When does one get prepared?
When I stop having doubts about myself.
Yeah, that'll never happen. Not because it's you, but people just never stop doubting
Wow,
themselves.
Hina.
Hey! I'm just saying!
I
People,
thought we had a beautiful friendship going on. Then you hit me with that.
I'm saying that's true of everyone, Beck. People will always doubt themselves. You gotta make a stand!
Tomorrow.
No,
Go
right
tomorrow.
now.
No.
I'm going in.
Hina, this is really uncomfortable. Can you please not? Let's just get
I'm-
the horse.
Already in.
I follow her.
So you enter the Temple of the Storm Sword. This is a large, almost slate-colored temple, but it's slate with like gold veins, almost like granite veins, going through. It's absolutely gorgeous, very, very Roman Colosseum-esque in its design, where there's lots of columns, there's military grade stuff everywhere. It is a large amphitheater style temple, and in the center you see guards of royal blue armor training together. It's very gladiatorial. Beckett's a little bit familiar, but it's way too put together for it to be the same level as the pits that you were a part of. But it has that
Well, obviously,
same
there's not enough
general
chains to go
vibe.
around.
Mote definitely didn't design this place.
You know, part of it's always weird to hear the deity's name instead of referring to their epithets. Like, I know who you're
suppose
talking
that's
about, but
fair.
Storm Sword, you know, it's like, I don't know. It feels weird for me to call a god by their name.
I mean, I know most of them by their names.
That's the thing. It's more okay for you because you actually lived with them and kind of
Lived
are one.
among them. I didn't really live with them.
And you can walk down the street and there he is. You wave hi as he gets his mail.
The world's really big, you know. I didn't see them all the time.
We're getting off topic. Why did you come in here?
Because you need to make a stand for yourself.
I will do so when I am ready, and I'll be ready
A
tomorrow.
man in
And
royal blue
I'm-
armor approaches. Welcome to our temple. How can I be of assistance?
Really not ready yet?
Not entirely.
I'd like to speak to your high priestess, please.
What are you doing?
I want to speak to her.
Oh my god.
I will see if Lady Idri is available.
Thank you. You don't have to talk to her. I'm going to.
Really know how to take a man out of his comfort zone, you know that?
Oh, I'm so good at it.
I have no response.
Okay. You're waiting for maybe 10 minutes before you see a rather large, half-giant woman approaching. Someone wants to talk to me.
Yes, hi. My name is Hina.
How can I help you, little one?
Beck's jaw hits the floor.
I am making acquaintances with all of the deities, high priests and priestesses at the moment. But my friend looks like he wants to talk to you now.
Uh,
A step behind
Hina?
Beck.
No. This is not okay.
I thought you wanted to talk to her.
I told you I was not ready for this. I want to convert to the Storm Sword.
Told you you were ready.
No, I'm not. I am not ready.
All right. You know the tenants?
Not entirely.
Well, tell me what you do know.
I know fighting. I basically all about fighting.
That's all you got, huh?
I know Brawlbrim. I wasn't able to participate this year because I was unconscious. But I used to participate in it apparently in the fighting pits. And I'm a multi-time winner. I don't actually remember how many times I won. There was a big fighting tournament thing and I won a lot. So religion's not really my strong suit,
What the hell are you talking
but
about?
there was a fighting pit and mall I was a part of, and every so
Mall,
often.
that fills in the blank that I was missing. Okay.
Okay then.
All right.
Glad we're caught up.
Here are the general tenets. Ready? Because you're not going to convert if you don't understand what you're converting to.
Fair.
Violence is not always the answer, but is near always a damn good backup plan. Where violence doesn't apply to physicality, it could apply mentally. You have to have the right attitude. You always need to be ready to defend others and to go on the offensive to protect those who cannot defend themselves.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Do not interrupt me.
Sorry.
Not a tenet,
Ma'am,
but a good
sorry.
rule to follow. Be precise and as deadly as lightning. There should always be a build up and quick follow through. It's a charged attack, not a random. Invisible planning, swift and intense results. Strength comes from within, but your motivation doesn't necessarily have to come from within. You fight to kill, or you don't fight at all. Fight for honor. No backstabbing shit. Anger is a weapon, but it's not the only one you should have in your arsenal. You are only as strong as the trust your companions can put in you. And the last tenet is to fall in battle is the greatest honor that one can achieve. Any questions about the tenets of our faith?
No, ma'am. Maybe one question, actually.
What's that?
What happens if I've already died once?
Congratulations.
Okay.
It was in battle, I'm assuming?
A vampire, yes.
Were you fighting the vampire?
Yes.
Congratulations. You've already died a warrior's death once, so the next time should come easy.
Okay. I'm sorry, you're very intimidating.
I get that a lot.
And very pretty. I mean,
I get that a lot too.
I meant no offense.
None taken. Why would I be offended for
Glad.
being called beautiful?
I don't know. I say stupid stuff when I'm nervous.
I can tell.
I look at Hina. I told you I was not ready for this.
Remember when you said you could, like, woo any woman?
This conversation never happened.
Weird. I remember this conversation.
This conversation did not happen.
Strange. I remember it.
I understand the tenets, ma'am.
Would you like to jump in the pit and fight something?
Yeah, I would.
Now or later?
Later.
Come back when you're ready. Welcome to the faith.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wouldn't
You
say no
said
to an
you weren't
offering on the
ready.
way out. She turns around and walks away.
You said we weren't ready.
I'm not. I was not prepared for that.
And now you're a follower of the Storm Sword. How nice.
Gee, yay, congratulations. I felt my heart beating out of my chest.
Wow. Imagine being uncomfortable for
The
5 minutes of your life.
The sound of crunching metal reaches your ears as you're starting to walk out. Do you guys turn back to look, or do you keep leaving?
I do look. take
I
a
would
peek.
turn around.
You see Lady Idrid now down in the pit with a war hammer out that she has taken, and the crunching sound was the sound of that hammer hitting the breastplate of a soldier and sending him flying across the arena.
Damn it, Hina wasn't there! I can't make a reference to it! I want so badly to comment. Damn it.
Text it to me as Nira. That'll work.
All right, horse. We're getting a horse. Back on topic. Focused. Getting a horse. I walk over to the Wild Daughters temple.
Okay. Very different vibes from that of the Storm Sword's temple. Giant treehouse. There's animals and plants everywhere.
Do I see a horse?
Not off first sight, but that doesn't mean that they aren't there.
I'm gonna ask anyone of the cloth for the High Priestess.
Sure thing. We'll go get Lady Aggie for you. A dwarven woman approaches you all not long after. Hiya!
Hello, you are the High Priestess, Miss
Hi.
Aggie?
Yes, I'm Lady Aganen, High Priestess of the Wild Daughter.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Grim Beck. I'm one of Star Eye's companions.
Oh. Is she alright? She
Uh,
took quite the verbal lashing from Lady Antonia
So I
earlier.
heard. I didn't really hear the details, but she seems fine for the most part.
That's good.
I actually came here wondering if I could make a sizable donation for a horse. We lost ours recently,
Ooh. Well,
and we don't have
that's-
one to pull our carriage. We had to borrow one from the Shroud Guardians.
That's a bit of a conundrum. I don't have a horse here.
Okay, well,
Your best
I figured we'd
bet,
ask some neighbors.
honestly, you're not going to find one in Eosan, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Your best bet is to go to one of the outlier cities. Maybe think from here, your best bet may be O'Brien. They don't have one, maybe heading on to the monastic village down by the coast. They may have them in Malays, but I don't know for sure. They're more farmers, so they have more cattle than horses.
I mean, it won't hurt to at least check.
Yeah, but
Plus,
if you're
it'd be
gonna
good to
head
check up
down
on
to
O'Brien.
O'Brien, you can almost certainly find them in the monastic village. I know they've got horses there.
All right, so if that doesn't work out, at least I know some place to go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It doesn't feel right to leave without a donation, so I give her a gold piece for the church.
Most appreciated, young man. May the wild daughter smile on you. Though more than
Appreciate
likely
it.
she's going to smile on Starry. She seems to have a favorite.
You see, I was going to say the same thing. I don't tell her enough, but Starry is a wonderful companion. I'd mess with her a little bit, but
she's a
she's
good
sweet.
girl. She's a good girl. Sisa almost always picks the best students. I have never not liked a student of Sisa's.
Off the table, is that who we met at her hometown?
Yes, that is Starry's mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember meeting her. They were
It's
a
like
good
the
person.
closest thing she has as a mother.
All right, well, back to the search.
Good day.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Oh, did you need anything, miss? I didn't even think to ask. I just assumed you were with him.
Oh, I am. I just wanted to thank you myself.
You're welcome anytime. Any friend of Star Eyes is a friend of ours.
Of course. Thank you.
I walk out. Well, we're gonna have to go out of our way to get a horse.
Or we can attempt to purchase one from a Shroud Guardian if we paid them enough.
Well, we're gonna have to go out of our way to get a horse. The Shroud Guardians gave me a weird vibe. I don't know what it was.
You and your weird vibes and your uncomfortability.
But call it animalistic instinct. I don't know.
So you're an animal.
Well, with this on my neck, I might as well be a beast.
I thought the whole point of everything you were trying to do is to rise above your situation.
Eventually.
You don't get there by just accepting everything until you get to the top. Accepting doesn't get you to the top of this mountain.
I know it doesn't, but what can I really do about it in the moment? I still don't know if this is going to be a major issue down the road. I feel fine. I genuinely feel fine now. Everyone else is freaked out about it.
Yeah, because it's not normal.
What about our party is normal? The most normal one, by far, was a Mel. And we've pseudo-replaced him with a Dragon Man, which makes the next most normal person in our group Celebrin, who is... he's got his own things going on. And speaking of, that reminds me, are my clothes okay?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've worn the same ragged, dirty things for a while. And I wore it to go see my daughter, and I just felt out of place. Maybe I want
There
something
are
new.
multiple shopping districts. You can go buy a new outfit if you're really that self-conscious about it.
As you guys are talking, and those of you who are out and about shopping would have seen this as well, as a large envoy is walking through the streets, guarded by brass and gold armored individuals. And there are large carriages, covered carriages draped in cloth of various colors, very ornate. And they are headed towards the Temple of the Sky Queen.
Have a feeling that's related to us somehow.
What gave you that idea?
Well, they sent for someone, and now that someone seems to be here. If I'm right. Let's call it instinct.
That's a better name for it.
I have a feeling we're gonna get called for soon, but I still do want to maybe get something better. I don't need something exotic. What do you think of like one of those white ruffled shirts? You think I'd look good in that?
I mean, maybe, but we're adventurers. We leave this town, that shirt's gonna get disgusting really fast.
Maybe I'll wear it on special occasions. Maybe something that's not just. Look at all the claw holes from that vampire in my shirt.
I'm not saying
That
it's
asshole.
good. I'm just pointing out that if you're getting a white ruffled shirt, don't fight in it.
Get a
Mom would have lost her mind.
I'll get one outfit for wearing for special occasions. I'll get a regular outfit for exploring and fighting. Maybe I'll get one in black. Black won't have the stains show up very often.
Oh, it depends on what the stains are from.
Well,
But-
ideally, mainly blood. Not my blood, though.
Perhaps.
Oh, right, you weren't in Zoglia.
No. I
I'm
don't
not.
even know what that is.
It's further south.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it, though. Bad memory.
Point to it on the map for me. I pull out the
take
ancient map.
I point to it. It's just further directly south from us.
Oh.
It's that
okay.
area near Mukatara that we could see in the distance, if
Right.
we could. I didn't really check. I was
You're Ingen. Okay. Yeah, I have a general idea of what that is.
it's where the Outcast Syndicate is for Nira and Zelia, or at least their main headquarters. Honey's cool.
Oh. Gotcha. Honey, is this someone you know?
Briefly talked to them, but they're basically the leader of the Outcast Syndicate, or at least one of, I think. I'm not knowledgeable about their inner workings. I only met them briefly for a bit. If you want to know more, I'd honestly ask Nira or Zelia. Anyways, clothes shopping, or are we gonna go see what that's all about?
Well, you wanted to go clothes shopping.
I
Not that-
do.
Not that I'm going to be super helpful, but
I'm gonna go find a tailor.
Okay. It's funny because if you ask Nira and Amel had been to the tailor in Iosan.
that's true. I got my scarf here.
Speaking of Nira and Zelia, they're the only ones we haven't checked in on yet.
That's true.
So we'll check on them before we go back to the meat eaters.
Papa, are you busy?
I cannot be. What's up?
I went with Star Eye to talk to Antonia earlier,
But
and now I'm confused.
what?
Why do so many people seem to hate the Ice Father? Or at the very least think he's a joke or whatever they think. I don't
They don't think
understand.
he's joke. They think he's villain.
That
Nobody,
makes no sense to me.
nobody likes death. Nobody likes losing things. People they love.
Even if it's their time?
Even if it's their time, everybody wants more time. So they don't like the god who enforces the time.
Hmm.
Simple, you take thing I love, I don't like you for it.
Speaking of that,
Ah,
I got some really weird but interesting insight about everything that happened.
hmm.
Y- You, no, there's no way you forgot. Mama's being a follower of the Fate Keeper.
Did not forget.
I don't know why I thought you would have.
Her
So-
family were very big followers. Hard to forget.
So, the Guardian told me about what happened because he heard from low tier what happened.
Okay.
Mama knew about it.
Knew about what?
The attack before it happened. Mama knew she was going to die.
Oh, that woman. I really
Apparently,
did pick a good one.
The Fate Keeper warned her in a dream the night before it happened, and that's how I was able to get away. Mama did everything on purpose. But if that was supposed to be her fated end, it seems kind of crazy to me that it came from the Fate Keeper herself. I don't know. I'm just.
The Ice Father does not choose the fated end. He enforces.
I know. I know.
The Fate Keeper is the one who sees and weaves the tapestry of fate. It's complicated. She tried many times to teach me how it works. But I never got it.
Speaking of did you know that you were sought out to be one of the Fate Keepers champions?
Did not? Did not know that. Good thing I did not, considering who you fell in love with.
Right.
That would have been awkward.
Really bad?
Awkward. Very, very awkward. I have to arrest my own son-in-law.
Could have put me in a tough place.
Well, no marriage for you. Too bad. So sad.
Wow.
Dang.
Oh, I'm gonna use that one day. I want you to know that. I'm taking that.
No, I could not do that. I like celebrating. He is puny, but he is good kid.
Glad you're finally coming around to it.
Eh. Only because you initiated, not him.
That is true. I did.
If he initiated, I'd kill him. At this point, Lady Brenna comes out of the back room. Tavarian, we're being called to the temple. Duty calls.
Thanks, Papa.
I love you.
What?
I love you.
I love you too. I wasn't sure if you said it. I was going to.
Got to go to work. And with that, he
Have
and
fun.
Lady Brenna both walk out. And you can hear that there's a bit of a commotion going on outside.
You two are adorable.
What, us?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I didn't really get to know him all that much. I can tell you about it later. Did you hear all that outside?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what's going on.
I will peek my head out.
You
Same.
can see the large envoy that is currently settling outside of the temple to the Sky Queen. There is
Who in
quite a
the world
crowd.
would-
Mira is really good with like symbols. Can she see any
Roll
symbols that
history
she would
for me.
recognize? Oh my god!
It's not for
It's
symbols,
gonna be
but
bad.
for
Just
colors.
oh, of course, it's gonna be bad though. Just because I'm like, I could recognize this history. Oh my god!
Oof.
You know that you recognize those colors, but you can't place who they belong to.
Come on!
You know you've seen them before, but you can't quite place it. Zelia, you would actually also be able to roll a history for this.
Ooh, sweet. I was gonna ask because it's like I don't know. Let me.
Only people who have
Come
spent
on.
time on another continent would have an option to.
I'm even worse.
Oof.
Yeah, you've got no clue. In your defense, Zelia, you are usually trying to avoid guards. So
Colorful folk. Don't like them.
the fact that they're all
I
in
need-
some sort of uniform is really unnerving to you.
I know them. I can't think of who they are. I want to investigate. You can come with me if you want, or you can stay put.
She's gonna tug up her cloak because tiefling and go west.
Okay. Back in the Cauldra district, did Drago go find the fried meats shop?
I had thought he had.
Okay.
Thought that's what we were doing.
So this place does all sorts of fried meat. Any type of meat that you can think of, they've got it and they fry it.
Hmm.
Large vats of oil, bubbling.
Fantastic.
This is very much festival street food.
Hmm.
So, but while you guys are watching, you guys actually caught them closer to as they entered the city. This envoy. Caravan of sorts. Very colorful. Very shiny.
Ugh.
Star Eye is there. So Star Eye would also see him.
That's why I
Whereas
did
the
that
other
noise.
two groups caught it at the end. You guys caught it at the beginning. Halibrin's like, huh. You don't
But-
see those colors here often.
What
Oh, does
color?
he remember?
He's a knowledge cleric. Of course he remembers his history checks. It's like insane.
Who are they?
I don't know specifically which one they're from, but they're from the Melee Coast.
Oh,
He rolled a natural 17.
Okay, Is it +3?
And he rolled a natural 17, which means he got a dirty
Okay,
20.
okay.
Gonna argue with me.
I'm not arguing with you. Just saying. Go for it. Just keep going.
She just wanted to roll it herself.
Wanted to roll good.
He's like, they're from the
Foundry hates me.
They're from the Malay coast. I just don't know which of the city-states they're from. But that guard, those colors, that's the Malay coast. You don't see them on the side of
Really?
the world very often.
No, I mean, that's pretty far from here.
Very far from here. It's not easy to travel either.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Drago, you ever been to the Malay coast?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Did you like it?
I suppose it wasn't terrible.
I only ever passed through it. I
Well,
never actually got
that's
to
what
stop.
I was doing.
Their markets are supposed to be the best in the world. But they have a lot of meat vendors there.
Meat is good,
Do we want
although
to
I quite. Mm,
quite what?
I quite prefer cheese, actually.
Really? Huh. We tried some really good cheese in a buy, didn't we, Sarai?
Mhm.
Thought so. Yeah, at that party that Mel's sister threw.
She totally didn't get out of the party, but she totally snuck some after because she didn't go to it. Yeah, I didn't go to the party. Felt really weird being dressed up, but I did get some from the kitchen. Remember how I was always going to the kitchen?
Right, you little thief. Do we want to follow them? Figure out what's up?
I mean, yeah.
Come on, Drago, let's go. I'm
Don't-
curious.
Right?
So, Hina and Beck, as you guys are exiting the temple district, you see Celebrin, Drago, and Stareye coming back. Hey,
Y'all good?
did you guys see the huge caravan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling it has to do something with, I tap my neck.
I don't know about that.
Why would the people
wouldn't
from
have
the
been able to
Malay
get here
Coast
that
be coming
fast.
for?
I don't know. Maybe it's coincidence. They sent for
Probably
someone, and now
coincidence.
someone big important is here.
It is the Sky Queen's temple. I feel like a lot of people visit here, no?
Yeah, I mean, and they came from across the ocean. There's no way they could have gotten here that fast.
Malay Coast. Give me a hint.
Across the
I
ocean.
pull out the ancient map.
East.
He points to where it is.
Oh yeah. They're not getting here that fast.
Maybe they got shunted. I don't know.
In a caravan, Beck?
I don't know.
That's a little suspicious.
We met someone who could teleport through trees. Is that really so weird?
They were druids.
We don't know who these people are. We don't know what
I mean,
kind of
that's
weird abilities they got.
fair. I mean, the Malay
But if they
Coast
could
is-
teleport through, if they could teleport through trees, though, wouldn't they have come closer?
Do you see a tree? Oh, what? Wild otter. Right. Never mind. Dumb question.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why they're here. You guys want to join?
Yes.
Is that really so wise for you in your current situation?
It's the
He
Malay
has the
Coast.
dragon, and I'm right here. He'll be fine.
Big bodyguard.
All right. Clothes
Child
shopping
of
can
God.
wait.
Big bodyguard, scary bodyguard.
Celebrant got that scary dog privilege.
Yeah, it
And then Petrowawa.
Nira and Zelia, you guys see the rest of your companions starting to head towards the temple as well.
Guess they already had that thought.
We're getting the band
Should
back
change my
together.
lights.
What are they doing?
They're investigating. So are we.
That's fair. Silver, didn't they go out to get... okay, never mind.
Hi. What's happening here?
No idea. We're trying to find that out. We never got to clothes shopping because we saw them show up.
Colors. I know these colors. Where are they from?
Melee Coast.
I like Coast.
Wait, what? What
Does that ring any bells for me?
That would
Can I roll
yes,
again?
you've gone through the Melee Coast before.
Am I rolling again, or do I just know?
You know.
Is it just the Melee Coast? Is that it?
That's all you know so far.
Oh, okay. I do recall that now. It's been years.
That's where those colors are from. No clue which of the
That's
city-states
right.
they're from, but still.
I haven't spent that much time there. I just went through there.
There's two major
Give me the short
cities.
version.
There's two major cities. Well, how do I put this? They all band together, they help each other, but they're all independently run. They have some of the best
Right.
markets in the world, in theory.
I would have had to stay for more than running for my life to
Yeah.
experience that myself.
Yeah.
Well, if we ever find ourselves in that direction, we'll check it out.
But what are they doing here now?
That's a good question, and one none of us can answer.
My guess is they're
Unless we
probably either from
investigate.
Malloy or Nikos. Those are the two major cities there.
Too bad Zelia probably wouldn't recognize the colors with that much information.
The colors are the same throughout the Melee Coast. The armor colors are just that of the Melee Coast Guard.
Okay.
You have no visible symbols to have any idea of which of the city-states within the Melee Coast they are from.
Unfortunate.
So are we investigating, or are we just gonna talk here?
I want to go investigate, and I'm bringing
I wanna
Drago with me too.
investigate.
So
We were all investigating.
let's go.
Great. Yeah.
And hey, maybe they'll have some news about you, Beck.
Maybe the mini goose come here just for you, Beck. It'd take too long for them to get over here, Beck.
It would.
Then you'll
Um,
get news, Beck.
I think he's saying that they're not here for you. They're here on their own accord because this is a temple.
Yeah, and I was saying that maybe just happens the temple also has information about you. Not that the two things are related.
You want to bet?
I think you complain too much.
Mira goes on ahead because they're
Okay, you
arguing.
said that twice.
Celia's gonna follow.
I don't think it's changed.
Come on, Drago.
I wonder if that's why your father got summoned. He did say he had a bunch of business that he was summoned here for, and then that was top secret, and now he just suddenly got pulled away. Right as they're arriving.
But to come this way? I mean, I guess he could have gone through Aspier.
The
Rather than the
one
melee door.
carriage, the door opens, and the person that exits is completely, immediately, before she even can step out, you catch a glimpse of long blonde hair before she is completely surrounded by guards. You can barely get a look at her.
Well, she's mighty important for all this. Who knows? Maybe it's royalty. Does the Melee Coast have royalty?
Sorta, kinda. They call them princes and princesses, but they're more like governors. They rule over a city-state individually. And they are the leader, the sovereign of that city-state. And there's two
Well-
main ones that kind of
rule over the
It's
others.
closest thing to a prince or princess, I guess.
Yeah, they call them the Maharaj and Maharani. One's a male, one's a female.
Are we gonna move into the Sky Temple?
That was a really bad joke. Let's go. Can I
It
kick
made
him in
me
the
happy.
shins?
Violence is never the answer.
If you're trying to ask Nira, she already went inside.
I was asking you since you were next here, but
Oh, I mean, if you want, but he'll probably retaliate. He is a follower of the Storm Sword now.
if you're a follower of the Storm Sword, then how can you tell me that violence isn't the answer?
That's the first tenet.
The first tenet of the Storm
No.
Sword is violence isn't always the answer, but it's always a viable backup plan.
Violence
I was
is
gonna get to that.
question.
He's still new to
And
this.
the
He's
answer
working on
is
it.
yes. Good job, Drago. Maybe you're a follower of the Storm. I didn't ask you. What god do you serve?
I don't know. Anyway, let's figure
Fair
out
enough.
what Nira's up to.
Cyril was also following Nira.
So, Nira, as you're approaching, you can't get to the temple entrance right now. It is completely blocked off by melee coast guards. They have formed a wall.
Color.
What?
Your,
Oh,
your,
you
your
mean
color.
okay? Got it. I thought you meant like the color of their whatever.
You know, there's always probably a back entrance.
There's always a magical entrance, but I don't want to get arrested.
There is a Shroud Guardian standing there as well.
I whispered it.
Yeah, we were whispering.
The Shroud Guardian turns to you both. Do you have business in the temple?
I guess it's not pertinent. Our friend is awaiting his results.
You have business in the temple. I can escort you inside.
If you would, that'd be
we just-
wonderful.
To have others. Our friend who needs the answer right behind us.
Oh, of course. Once your party is together, let me know, and I can bring you inside.
Absolutely. I'll head back to them. Hey, so I gained entrance.
Neat.
Let's go.
But it's from a Shroud Guardian. Are you gonna be okay?
They didn't arrest me the first time I was in the temple.
You were invisible.
Hood up, head down.
Fine. I mean, the High Priestess freaking called me out, and I'm still fine, so...
Yeah, I don't think I can use my father as a bargaining chip every time.
Let's go. Come on, Drago. I need my bodyguard.
I don't know why I'm your bodyguard.
Because you're big and scary looking. I mean,
I
you almost had that
suppose.
innkeeper crying earlier.
I was not meaning that.
I'm not gonna ask.
It was funny. I think she might have peed her pants.
I'll take your word for it.
That's not very funny.
It was a little funny.
She was terrified.
Learning new things about
I forgot to
Celebrant
change my
today.
light.
I think I have rubbed off on him in the worst way.
I served the God
other
of Chaos
parties-
before I met any of you.
That's true. I keep forgetting about that. Our party's assembled.
Very well. Okay, follow me. And with that, he just straight up grabs one of the guards of the melee coast and shoves them out of the way. And just kind of bullies his way through to make a path for you guys.
Dig, I like this guy.
Well, in for a penny. I'm just gonna walk by.
We'll go through.
The melee coast guards are just like,
Follow up.
you hear them mumbling to themselves, like, what the f wrong with
Celia's
this
just
guy?
like-
How dare he?
You just fucking see that? He just pushed me out of the way. What's
Yeah.
this guy's problem?
Yeah, and he's
Like-
doing it to multiple, because he's just bullying his way through and making a path.
when one of them tries to like fight back, he just kind of like uses his arm to like pin them to the wall of the temple. Do not impede the business of this temple. You are guests here. Do not forget your place. And then continues to bully his way through and make a path for you guys.
I really like this guy.
I feel
Drago's
really
just like-
important right now.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And every
Sorry.
time you
Sorry.
speak directly to
Excuse
someone
me.
and they look at you, Drago, they're like, what the
Sorry.
is this thing?
Sorry.
Eventually, you guys are inside, and you are right behind that like swarm of guards that are around this one individual.
The individual's already inside. Why did they need a wall?
The Shroud
Very
Guardian
important.
just looks back at you, having overheard that, and going, she's someone of high importance, and they don't want anyone near.
Who is she?
The Maharani of Nikos.
Oh,
It's pretty important.
what's she doing here?
I'm not important enough to know.
Dang.
My job is to make sure that people can still get inside the temple and worship.
Well,
You
we appreciate
Did a
you.
very good job.
Thank you. I take pride in what I do.
So are we like waiting in a line or something?
You are just kind of like in a waiting room. He's like, if you're waiting to speak to the High Priestess, you can wait here. If you're wanting to just worship, you can go through those doors over there to some waiting altars. If you need to speak with healers, down that hall right there.
I won't be using them.
I'm not sure why you are here, so I am just letting you know what is available. I would appreciate you not laughing at me.
No, sorry, we were here a few hours ago and they were not helpful.
Okay then. If you just need to speak to a priest or a cleric, also to the room with the altars, that would be your best bet. Anything else, you can ask any of the attendants here. You can also ask the Shroud Guardians, but we're less likely to know.
Righty. Thank you.
And also, feel free to tell off anyone from the Melee Coast because they're guests here, and they act like they own the place.
Oh, yes.
I
Dick is
will
way
not.
too happy about this.
And with that, the soldier leaves. So,
All right, well we're in.
you also see Tavarian
How are we gonna
at
visit?
the front of the waiting room.
So that's where we went.
And he's sitting very bored next to Lady Brenna, who's sitting very elegantly, keeping to her station, and then there's Tavarian.
I want to walk over to him. I can't help it. I'm
So-
gonna go over there. Oh, you know. Curious about things. I have a friend who has a very poor health condition.
Away from
Whatever
the
can,
back.
whatever will we do without knowing our answer? We were really curious about the caravan.
Yeah. Maharani. Big shot.
Yeah, that's what the Shroud Guardian said. Do you have any idea why she's here?
Not a clue.
Is
I
you being
do-
here related to that?
I don't know. I do
You don't know
know
why they
that
called
the
you?
Maharaj and the Maharani are very reclusive. They don't go out much. At all. Their own people barely know what they look like.
That seems like a bad ruling strategy.
And yet they never have any coup. No rebellion. Their people love them. willingly give them tax. Trade is best in country, best in globe, as far as I know. They're very mysterious. Very, very mysterious.
Hmm.
And yet here one stands in Temple of Sky Queen. Not gonna lie, part of me wants to try and make my way through crowd to see her.
You know, you could use your station to do that too.
They don't recognize religious authority.
I mean, the
The Melee Coast is
Shroud
the
Guard-
only nation that does not recognize religious authority.
So wait, if you're not here for them, why are you here?
I come when called. He points at Brenna. And
Okay,
she is
I'll ask
secret keeper.
you, I guess.
And
Oh,
she's just
you're not gonna tell him?
No, because if I tell him, he will leave.
Can you tell me and I won't tell him?
I don't have enough trust with you yet.
Come on.
I've met you twice. 3 times, technically. For less than 15 minutes each time. I've known you less than an hour total.
And I guess me saying I'm his child wouldn't help.
Not at all. In fact, it gives me more reason to keep it to myself.
I half wonder if it has to do with that conversation we had, but
No. But that did not help matters.
What didn't help?
Oh, learning that the champion of the Storm Sword regularly tries to fight him.
Him?
Mm-hmm.
wrong character speaking, but yeah.
Does not help matters, but that's not the reason. The reason is he likes to, well, brazenly go after trouble. Without any regard to his own well-being. He also doesn't like
We're
to
still
do
talking the
politics.
champion of the Storm Sword, right? Or are we talking him?
We're talking your father.
See, it's hard to tell with some of these people.
They do have a lot in common.
Beck tugs on the collar of his shirt.
He and the champion of Stormsword do have a lot in common.
They're both from Low Tyrol.
Yes, they are.
They're both
Anyway.
part of the military of Low Tyrol.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we were asked partially, one of the reasons that we are here is to make an appearance since the Maharani is here. All of the high priests and priestesses, and if the champions are in town, the champions were asked to come and make an appearance for such a special guest. But we were here on other business first.
So the other champions on their way?
Yes.
And priests and priestesses? Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Bishop Pearl.
Some of them are already inside, being briefed by
Which
Lady Dasha.
ones?
The High Priest of the Fate Keeper and his champion arrived before us. They are currently in the room with
Which
Lady
one?
Tasha. I'm sorry?
Which one?
The only
Which
ones
champion?
in town. Well, Lady Uma is not in town.
Lady Uma, what?
She's not in town.
Okay, good.
She's currently out on a mission, so... It's the Elders Gentleman whose name I can never remember.
All right. Grand.
They are in there along with the High Priest of the Zayad. And I know that Lady Aggie is on her way. As is Lady Idri. I don't believe Anacol is in town.
It's very. I hope not. Oy.
Don't worry, Papa. If it comes down to it, I'll get you out of there again.
I just don't feel like dealing with that knucklehead today. Blockhead. He is fist for brain. Anyway. And of course we know the Sky Queen's champion is nearby, so she will not be present. Which is where I think Anakol is. I hope he stayed there. Though if there is no more conflict, he might have come back. Oof. Oof. I hope not.
Great. Protect all people. That's gonna be fun.
And then
Don't worry. I got both of you.
High Priest of Trickster,
Making
High
a face
Priest
like, not
of
really.
Time Archivist are not in Iosan, so they will
Right.
not be present. I don't
And the
believe
Wild Daughter
they're
doesn't have
champion.
one.
Wild Daughter does not have champion. Trickster does not have champion. Don't think the champion of Time Archivist is here. He may be. He may make a show.
Last I saw him, he was an Avidite.
He gets
so-
around.
Yeah, that's true. But last I saw him was an Avidite. That was also a while ago.
The doors to the main audience chamber opens. The High Priestess will see you all now. So basically, anyone who is currently waiting to go into that auditorium is welcome. The Maharani and her crew begin to walk forward as Berna and Tavarian also stand up.
You going to come eavesdrop?
He looks at the rest of your group.
100%.
Come.
I mean, I got reason to be there.
Yes.
As you all walk in, you are all kind of ushered off to the side of the room as the lady from the Melee Coast takes center stage. The rest of her guards kind of step away from her, and you're able to see now a very beautiful woman. I just need to grab my iPad. Give me 2 seconds.
Time's up. Just kidding.
That's
Spend
been
6 seconds.
10 seconds.
Spend 10 seconds.
I'm
This is
kidding.
taking too long. I'm bored.
kidding. This is taking too long. I'm bored. Wow,
The
John.
ceiling caves in. You're all dead.
It's been
Ooh.
20 seconds.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect.
Stop.
Love it.
I just need to get it
Mel's
because
the only
this is...
survivor from our party.
Mel is
been
the only
30 seconds.
survivor of the party. I just
Hey,
have to get
no.
the...
No, I have a thing.
I planned this from the beginning.
Of course you did.
It's been 40 seconds.
I'm back.
Jeez.
I am just sharing the image from my iPad. So that way I can...
It's been 50 seconds.
Jason,
Oh my god. Shh. She could kill your character.
I've killed you
She's done
once,
it
I'll
once,
do it
she can
again.
She didn't have to bring him back.
I did not have to bring him back. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. That is not helpful. What the fuck was that? I'm sorry, it's freaking out. I'm just gonna get... Basically, she is a very beautiful woman. She wears a white, almost opalescent dress, and she has a beautiful, semi-transparent, rainbow shimmery shawl that she has wrapped around her that's very reminiscent of like a butterfly's wing. Her hair is braided down her back, and she wears a silver tiara headpiece thing. As soon as I can get the thing to work, I will share it to the chat.
I'd be honest. Who thought she would look different?
Wait, has it sent yet?
It has not sent yet. I will
No,
send it.
Beck's asking the party from the description.
Oh.
I had no idea how she would look.
Never really gave her much thought.
I imagined a crown of thorns. I don't know why.
Now the image has sent.
Why?
I don't know. Just the first thing I thought of.
Of course.
How tall is she?
She is about 5'8".
Okay.
So tall for a human woman, but not obnoxiously tall.
Not like
Heidos
obnoxiously
height.
tall like Hina.
She's not
I'm
Hina.
part God.
I was also gonna say Hina's not that tall.
I'm 5'11".
She's not a Mel height.
She's
Or
not
Emel's family
Mel.
height.
She's not Celebrin. She's not Beck. She's an inch
not
shorter than
height.
Tavarian.
True.
So again, tall for a human woman, but she's not obnoxiously tall. She's 4 inches taller than me.
Now begs the question, what's she doing here?
Lady Tasha.
Which I'm assuming we're about to find out.
Lady Tasha just kind of bows her head. Welcome. What can we do for you? And the woman just kind of looks a little confused. I was summoned. I'm not sure why or by whom exactly, but I received a summon. And Tasha's like, you received a summon from Io-san. When? It was not labeled. And the Maharani, her face, while just slightly confused, her expression doesn't actually change all that much. Yes, I received a summons. A letter arrived at my door, asking to speak to she who knows. That would be me. Here I
I'm sorry,
am.
can you say that again? It kind of like cut out a little bit, and I want to make sure I had that wording specific.
She said that a letter arrived at her doorstep, addressed to she who knows.
She who knows?
Mm-hmm. She's like, and that would be me. So here I am. And Tasha was like, oh. My apologies, I was not aware of any summons being sent. Nor did I think that the Melee Coast honored such demands from the temples. Tavarian, they don't. To which Brenna just immediately smack. And the Maharani, would you care to see the letter? I brought it with me. And So after one of the guards brings the letter to Tasha, she reviews it. There's a lot of whispering going on between the heads of the Sky Queen Temple. And Tavarian, do I have to be here for this? Can I go home?
Aren't
You
you at least aren't you at least a little curious about what's on that letter?
Come on, General. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah. And it's going to find out that somebody who does not have authority to summon her summoned her. And we're all here by big misunderstanding, and we should all leave anyway.
No, General. General, think about it. Weird summons brought here. No one knows what's going on. Possible assassination plot. You can see some action.
Beck, I have seen
Yeah?
enough action to last me 3 lifetimes.
It'll be fun if it happens. It's just a possibility.
Beck,
Light green.
Beck,
Yeah?
if action break out right now, I have to trust Beanpole to protect my daughter. When Beanpole needs protecting, I do not want anything to happen right now.
Would it make you
Your
feel better if I
daughter
said I
can
protect
protect
both of them?
herself.
No.
Okay.
If Big Boy said he'd protect both of them, then maybe I feel better.
Why not me?
You like fighting, he says no to fighting. You I worry about starting fight. He I trust to finish fight.
I don't think that's a fair, accurate representation of my character, but okay.
Need I remind you what happened at Kazad Brew?
I was in a darker place then. I've grown from that.
Okay. You say so. I have not seen you, so I cannot make judgment.
To which Tasha leaks over. General Tavarian Devin, please be quiet.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Tasha.
Papa, you're gonna make me look bad.
And Bruna. You're both going to make me look bad. Stop it.
I said sorry.
When did my temple become the troublemakers? Across
When did Bavarian become champion?
across the room, Lady Idri of the Storm Swords Temple is laughing.
Us?
Yep. She's watching. So as soon as the High Priestess of the Sky Queen called y'all out, she almost fell off her chair.
Beck's cheeks are just bright red.
To which Tavarian flips her off.
You know her?
Sorta, kind of. Acquaintances.
High Priestess of the Storm Sword.
Yes, I know.
That was Salinira.
Oh. Is she a half giant?
She is.
So is she from Loterel too?
She was born there. But she was raised here in Iosan. She goes back to Lotirol every year.
Hmm.
She knows Aniko.
Well, yeah. She's the high priestess and he's the champion. They should know each other.
Maybe when you're older.
What?
Oh.
They know each other.
Oh,
They have known each other.
got it.
do not know if this
So
is
does
a good
anything
idea.
else happen?
There is very quiet conversation still going on between the heads of the Sky Queen's temple. The Maharani is just standing there, stone-faced. She's barely blinking. Something else to note about her appearance as you're watching her is from the sides of her tiara hang two ornamental pieces of jewelry that look like golden eyes that hang on either side of her head.
I don't know if I'd be able to tell this from here, but like, is there something magical happening with all of that for her to seem so catatonic? Or can I like roll insight or something? Like, what should I roll? Because I
can
want to
roll-
figure out what's going on.
I'll say insight or arcana.
One or the other. All right.
May I also roll for
Oh
insight?
my god!
Insight or arcana.
12.
Anybody who's
Gonna
watching
roll
her can make that.
13.
on Star
This is
Eye.
stupid. Watch, Hina's gonna do better, even though Hina's like
And
not. It's not that she's
then-
not paying attention, but yeah, maybe it's because she's not
Celia
fooling
is
around.
not doing good at this. Any rolls tonight.
Guys,
Is
Nira
Drago
isn't
trying
either.
to figure it out either?
Jonathan. Oh, there he goes. Ooh. Well, those are pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Hina and Star Eye for two different roles. Star Eye, the two eye appearing baubles that are hanging on either side of her head are definitely magical, as is her rainbow shimmery shawl. But that's about all you can gather from the Arcana check. You can tell that they are magical, but you have no idea what kind of magic is being used. No idea what they do. Nothing like that. You
Could I
just tell that they're
see-
magic present. Hina, this is someone who is very, very practiced in political situations.
She would recognize that.
This is a face that you have seen on many, many, many people before. This is someone who knows how not to give away any information that they don't want to. This is a very practiced calm. Has nothing to do with how she's actually feeling. This is a practiced look.
I know that face. I used to be really good at that face.
Star is gonna kind of like lean into the others because she can't really do that. She has a lot of magical items on her. I mean, I don't know what they do, but I could try to detect what they do. I don't know how that would be right now. She's trying to like whisper this.
I wouldn't risk it. That would put a bigger target on us. I mean, not that your magic is forbidden, but we are in a temple.
In a temple, surrounded by guards. Tension's kind of thick. You go to cast a spell. I don't think they'll take kindly to that.
Grim Beck, please come forward.
Uh-oh. Yes, okay. I walk up.
We did not intend for this person to appear before us, especially on such short notice. But this is one of the individuals that we had inquired about your condition to.
I just look back at my party, give it like the told you face. And I look-
Zelia
Nira
will
flips
flip
them off.
them off.
I honored. So what do we do now?
To be honest, we did not expect them to come in person. We sent a description of your condition. They are a group of individuals. They who know. They're supposed to be keepers of
Oh!
ancient knowledge.
Wait a minute.
And this applies to the Maharani?
She claims to be a member of They Who Know.
All right. I'll bite.
We tend
If
to avoid them
you
because
can
they are...
answer what's going on, I'll take it.
We tend to avoid reaching out to them because they are alternative knowledge to that of the God of Knowledge. So we were very surprised to have one of them show up from across the world on hours' notice.
Okay.
Proceed with caution, but
guess this
perhaps
is-
they will be useful. I will arrange for you and
They
your
will.
companions to meet with the Maharani privately to discuss your condition.
Okay then.
Please be cautious.
I will try my best.
She then gets up off of her throne and goes down to speak to the Maharani. And as she approaches, you watch the guards begin to close in on her again, not allowing the high priestess to get close. Which you can tell pisses her off. This is probably the most powerful person in the world outside of Emel's family, and she is being denied access.
Yikes.
Eventually, tensions calm down and you are all led to a side chamber with the Maharani, a group of her guards, and anyone that you would like to come with you.
Well, my party is invited to Varian and Brenna if they want.
Okay, Tavarian absolutely will come.
Don't really even plan on inviting anyone else. I don't really know anyone else.
Okay. Did you say you also invited Lady Brenna? Or did I?
If she
mishear?
wanted.
Okay. She will also attend. So it's your party, Tavarian, Brenna, and then the Maharani and her guards. She sits down, very, very elegant. Her shawl just draped over her.
Am I sitting across from her at a table? Is that what's going on?
Yes. It's like a
Okay.
conference room of sorts. I'm here to discuss an affliction.
Gonna be honest, I was not Yeah. What I was told there were details in the letters sent to you, so I guess I'll just show you. And I'm gonna pull back the collar of my shirt to reveal what's going on.
And you drank dragon blood, yes?
Yeah. This was a decade or so ago.
And what is your name?
It's been a while. Grim Beck. Most people just call me Beck.
is not a name of significance.
Oh,
The
Okay.
dragon's blood should have killed you.
should have, but didn't.
Or perhaps it's just late to finish
Star's
the
going
job.
to try to chime in. What do you mean by that? You act as if others who have drank similar haven't died.
There are certain bloodlines that would allow for a difference in occurrence. She looks at Drago. Someone of his persuasion could drink dragon's blood without negative consequence.
Are there people who aren't dragonborns that could?
Yes, though they are more rare. And again, you do not come from one of those bloodlines, to my understanding. So
I mean, I don't really know my bloodline.
no reason for you to be alive at this moment.
But he is.
Yes, and the scales are confusing. Are you
How
bonded to
so?
a dragon?
I mean, kind of?
It's not a kind of, it's a yes
Yes.
or a no.
It's
That-
a yes.
That explains the scales. Well, you won't die from this affliction.
Well, that's a relief.
However, your dragon is trying to break its bond.
That's
That's-
less of a relief. Well, the dragon's blood I drank isn't the dragon I'm bonded to. Is that a problem?
Possibly. Do you know the dragon as whose blood you drunk?
It's a red dragon named Gelhenna.
Oh. The Ember Queen. You should very much be dead.
All right, you keep saying that, and I know you don't mean it to be an insult. At least I hope you don't.
I think stating a fact isn't it being an insult, Beck.
There are few dragons in the history of Casuregni as notable as Gelhenna. She is the queen of the fire plane. The very soul of fire. To drink her blood should have burned you from the inside out. You should be naught but a pile of ash.
This is not where I thought this conversation was going. But that didn't happen, so where do we go from here? You said I'm not going to die from it, so I'm okay?
If you were going to die from the blood, you would have died already. It's an instantaneous thing, so it's either you die or you don't. You did not. Congratulations. You're an anomaly.
Okay.
The issue with the scales is that your dragon that you are bonded to is trying to break that bond.
Alright, gonna have to talk to her about that.
It wishes to be free of its tether.
Oh, I'm over here to hear this.
She was kind of acting shy of you earlier.
I thought that was because I was dying.
But you're
Obviously,
not
you're
dying.
not dying now.
Well, yeah, I know that now. I've always treated her like a friend.
Mm,
Friends are not soul-bound. Friends do not have to come and go at the will of another.
I mean, trust me, at some point in time, I wanted her to be able to roam free. I would love nothing more than that. It's everyone else giving me the side eye, and I terrified a kingdom for a day.
You're lucky you haven't been hunted for sport yet.
Me? Who would want to hunt me?
You have a dragon bound to your soul.
wait, Beck, what about what happened on Mukutara
What do you mean?
with the dragons?
What dragon?
What do you mean, what dragon?
Out of character, out of character. Statue, egg, nest.
Oh, that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that happened. They didn't take Elhenna from me.
That's not what I was meaning.
Wait, what was the name of that dragon again?
With-
Oh, Swift
yeah.
Strike. That's right.
Yeah, the Swift Strike. Wait a second.
Yeah, I
What?
noticed it too. I
can't
noticed
tell
it
it.
too. I noticed it. Yeah,
Wait a minute.
freed
You
that
guys have not
little
heard her
child.
name yet.
Dang it.
You as players know her name.
Damn it. I can't ask for her name now.
Yeah, Mukatara, there was those weird dragons. They borrowed Elhenna, broke a statue, and I freed a dragon child. What about it?
What if that's connected to why she wants to break the bond?
So,
I mean, it's a theory. Have any conclusive evidence?
Okay, but it's better than nothing. I figure if you have somebody who actually has knowledge on in these situations, it's better to play out even the vaguest possibilities, right?
Okay, but what are the odds that? I'm sorry, I forgot your title. I'm looking here. The Maharani knows of a tiny dragon that was asleep for God knows how long.
we're not talking about the tiny dragon that was asleep for God knows how long. We're talking about the fact that your dragon doesn't want to be stuck to you anymore. Stareye is posing the wonder if maybe it's because of that.
Exactly. It's the
Also a
only other
possibility.
time that she's been around dragons with you, really.
I'll
Your
talk to her.
bonded dragon
Okay.
has never been around other dragons.
Well,
No, she was an egg that hatched before the others she was with,
Oh, she
and she's been
you bonded her
with
at
me ever since.
infancy. Ah, interesting.
Coincidentally enough, she's also one of the eggs of the dragon I drank blood from. At least I think. That was kind of having a weird dream, so I don't know if that's true or
She's
not.
a child of Galhenna.
supposedly.
Possibly.
Fascinating.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I have a question for you, but I'm gonna text it to you.
Okay.
Oh my god, wait!
It's very interesting that you have a child, possibly, of Galhenna.
soulbound to you.
Who I also named Gelhenna.
Yes.
Should I be alarmed that she got big really fast?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
That could also have something to do with why she's trying to break the tether.
All right. Well, if we're not going to get anywhere without her, I'm going to summon Gelhenna.
Maybe were you saying that out loud, or he's just doing it?
I'm just doing it.
Amel just shoots you from a different country.
Mel's not here.
Just from another country, he just shoots you.
The Maharani's, while her actual expression doesn't change, her eyes widen. And actually, I need everyone to roll a perception check.
Oh boy, I love rolling perception checks.
Come on, Drago, you got this.
Damn it. Oh, never mind. My die must have hit someone else's in the animation, and I thought I rolled a 9. I got an 18.
Don't worry, guys. I rolled a 12.
Ina didn't see it. Oh my god. I'm so frustrated.
So, Nira.
I'm connecting all the dots. I can't do anything about it.
Nira and Beck are the only ones who notice that it actually seems like the golden eyes of the headdress ornamentation also seem to widen. Momentarily, just barely. Hello, little one. There. Don't need to be frightened. She holds her hand out, and Gelhenna, who immediately backed away from you, Beck, hesitantly does start to approach the Maharani.
You're breaking my heart here, Gelhenna.
How come you know so much about dragons?
My group, we have collected knowledge that was deemed unworthy by the temples for a long time.
I don't understand how knowledge could be deemed unworthy.
Ask the temples. We're not the ones who deemed it unworthy.
No,
They
I
only
understand that.
saw-
I wasn't asking you.
They saw beasts like dragons, other legendary creatures as monsters to be hunted. We see them as tools, avenues to further the world. They have powers beyond our understanding, so if we could understand them, perhaps we could greater influence our world in their image. Or at least in their capabilities. I've studied dragons my whole life. Dragons and fae are the two areas that I study. My colleague studies other creatures.
Like what?
That's the wrong word. Sorry, hang on.
Okay.
Like giant sea serpents? Because we met one of those too.
He does study sea serpents, actually.
Hey, Starlight, you can make a new friend.
He studies sea serpents and sandworms, actually. Those are the two areas of his expertise.
So, getting back on topic, what about this situation with Gelhena. Breaking the bond, okay, but she is my friend. I would hope she'd want to stick around afterwards. Right, girl?
Galhenna speaks to you in Draconic, saying that she does want to stay your friend, but does not want to remain tethered to you.
Okay. That's what you want. I'll respect it. So how do we break the bond?
Well, I wish I could tell you. I've never actually met someone soul-bound to a dragon before. I have a hypothesis, but nothing concrete. Dragons have been mostly extinct for a really long time. Oh, is it cutting out again?
No.
Okay.
No, I can hear you. I'm just irritated.
Dragons have been mostly extinct for a really long time. Our knowledge of them is very limited.
I'm going to ask a question I think I already know the answer to, but it sounds like the only way for me to figure this out is to talk to the Ember Queen herself.
If you
Am
could
I
talk,
right in that line of thinking?
you could talk to the Ember Queen. I would kill someone for you to take me along.
I can think of two people.
Lady Galhenna has been gone for centuries. She was slain, or so the stories say, by an archer from Silden.
Why'd you call her Lady Gelhena?
That is the proper way to refer to royalty. She's the Ember Queen. Also, according to the
okay.
legends, she did rule over Lotirol for some time.
Well, sounds like I know where I want to go next. That's a really far journey, though.
Tavarian looks up at you, Beck. She's not there. I can guarantee that.
Okay.
Best
God, it's
bet
like
to
the-
go back to Mukatara and go to the elemental plane of fire. If Kuruk would let you.
I don't see that happening.
I feel like that's not a good idea.
Oh no, it's not, but that's your best bet.
Nira, at the
God, there's
mention
something in the
of
back of my head.
Kurik, there is an imperceptible shift in the Maharani.
Imperceptible means I didn't notice it?
Everyone else didn't. You are the only one who noticed.
God, I feel like there's something in the back of my head. I know something about Gelhena, and I can't remember what.
Do you know the Guardian?
Yeah, we met Korik.
Not you.
Oh,
The Guardian is in the minor deity?
Yes.
I know of him.
No?
Yes.
No, I'm
I
thinking
know
your
of
reaction.
the
Hold on.
god.
Hold on. Let me explain. You haven't reacted to anything that we've said so far. Visually. When I brought up the Guardian, when I said Korik's name, you flinched. Ever so slightly, you flinched. You know him.
No, I can guarantee you I do not.
Then why did you flinch?
I did not.
Yes,
Are
you
you
did.
feeling well?
Are you done lying to me?
I'm not lying. I am growing concerned for your well-being. Someone check her for fever.
We have our own healer in our party.
Beck immediately puts his hand up to near his forehead.
I smack him like a
We're
smack
not
my
the
arm.
healer.
The hell?
Don't touch me.
You heard the guys earlier. The Maharani wouldn't come out here for no reason, and I found it very unlikely she would travel to Mukatara for no reason.
But she knows.
Assure you, I do not.
Maharani is your title, no?
Yes,
Not your name.
correct. The Maharani is the name that my people bestowed upon me.
That
I
cut
missed
out for me.
most of that.
The
Maharani
Maharani isn't it cut out.
is the name that my people bestowed upon me.
Since I'm particularly bold and apparently not feeling well. What is your name?
Melia.
Melia?
I know that's a name I've never heard before.
That's it? There's nothing else to it?
You asked for my name and I gave it to you.
Hmm.
I don't suppose you have a family name. You know, Grim, Beck, Nira, Devon.
Why are you suddenly
Star
so
Eye.
interested? Her surname is I?
As far as I'm aware. I just wanted to be respectful. Like, Maharani is a title. I think it'd be rude if I didn't know your full name.
I'm sorry, her surname is I.
It's actually never really been discussed. It's Star Eye, but we don't know if it's Star Eye or just Star Eye.
Well, we could clear it up. Is your last name I?
Do you have a last name?
Why?
Why is it a hard question?
Why am I in the center of attention all of a
Well,
sudden?
it's just a quick
Curiosity.
question.
My name is Stareye. I don't have a surname.
Okay, see, there we go. There's the answer.
Beck, you know that I don't know my family.
I've had a surname deal. Maybe you made one up.
And chose I for it.
So what was your name now?
Melia.
The surname. Obviously you know what we're
I
referring to.
do not give my full name.
Is
Only
there a
my
reason?
most trusted advisors know my full name. Yes, there is a reason.
What's the reason?
I mean, didn't they say before that they rarely come out of their home? I mean, I would assume assassins, knowing the last name, knowing family connections, is probably a thing to not know.
Why'd
That
you
is-
answer for her?
Part of it.
It's
The
just-
other part is I have dealt with one too many fae for my liking.
Do I look like a fae?
That's kind of fair.
Fae can take many forms.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
Does a fae knowing your name matter?
Yes, very much so.
Oh my. I have to be more careful about that in the future.
I feel like we established this in Avazite, but okay.
Well, I clearly had other things on my mind.
Like serving the
sorry,
fae.
I'm confused. So, did you come from this Mukatara? Wasn't that the Death Island thing you talked about? seems like a strange place to come from.
We had business there.
I wasn't talking about you.
While this conversation's going on, is it possible for Starry to kind of discreetly-ish, like, not like fully discreetly, but like kind of just shift behind Drago as she to attempt to like very quietly cast detect magic?
You could try.
Well, DJ, or not DJ, April, before you do, did you check what the components of detect magic is?
There isn't?
Yes,
think
there
there is.
are. There's no material component. There are components. All spells have components.
Verbal, somatic,
Yeah, that's
concentration,
why I'm
ritual.
trying to use while everyone's talking and trying.
Well, I was gonna say that's a specific feature to say things without using verbal components.
She is going to use the verbal component. She's going to try and let everyone else talk over
Yeah.
her to mask it.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to like not be visible, like for the seeing that she's casting part, and also trying to use the louder people talking as cover for her casting. That's specifically why I'm moving behind.
And part of me thinks we got a little bit off topic about names and such. How are we going to figure out my situation with my dragon and breaking this bond? Because the only lead I have so far is talking to the Ember Queen Gilhenna, and I feel like that may or may not become a death sentence. Or who knows, she might take a liking to me because I survived her blood. I have no idea.
Possible. Again, if you could have a conversation with her. I would kill to be a part of it.
In general, you said that she's not in Lotirol, so is there any... Wait, Hina, the map. Can I see the map?
Sure.
I want to look at the ancient map because
Why are you covering your
Yes,
face?
April.
I'm trying to think.
ooh. Well, according to the ancient map, she would be in Lotirol, but
She hasn't been there in years. You read that when we went to the Library of KO.
Thara, you try to release your spell and it fizzles immediately.
that was... The Library of Care was months ago. No wonder I don't remember that. It still feels like I got something in the back of my head telling me something, and I'm gonna remember it at the most inopportune time. Do you have any suggestions, Maharani?
I would start at the Library of Kale, because if there's any knowledge that we do not have, you could find it there.
I don't remember there being a lot of books on dragons last time. There was only like one.
You may need assistance.
Oh, I'll have to go there to figure it out. I've got someone who's a little bit more learned than me, so maybe they can help. Is there anything else we had to discuss? I think that's everything, right?
Celebrant just kind of leans over. Hey, if she's somebody who knows things, do we want to ask about other situations in the world at large that we are
What other situations?
investigating? Cults?
Are you referring to Mirez?
I was referring to cults that we have been able to find little information on so far.
No, it doesn't hurt asking. This is a little off topic. Do you know anything about what the Crypothos is? Anything you can tell us about that?
This is not related to your condition?
I mean, maybe not entirely. It might be a little bit. Plan on using the condition to beat them up, but no. There is no direct link to it.
The only thing my sources know about the Carpathos is that they are gathering large numbers of materials, raw materials, and shipping them to Nykox.
That seems to check out.
They are also amassing a rather large following.
That's terrifying.
Wait, you said they're shipping it to Nikos.
Nykox,
Nikux, sorry.
the continent.
Similar sounding places.
Starry's pointed it out on the map to you before. That's where the this is above the table. That's where the area where it's suspected for the one person to be trapped that we don't want to get released.
Right.
This was around the time frame that she was going a little cuckoo because of sea serpents.
Right.
There are rumors, nothing confirmed, but there are rumors that they are also researching ancient magic. Forbidden magic.
Yeah, that would make sense. I have it on good authority that they are involved with Maul. So if they reach out, please be careful.
We have no official alliances with anyone other than
I
our
mean, it's not just
own
alliance.
nation.
Just figured I'd let you know. Do you want to ask about the other cult? The Bloody Innocents?
Do you know anything about supposed angels
The Bloody
that are
Innocents
being
is a small following for someone who claims to have been a lieutenant of Azta, the Sky Queen. She was nearly killed towards the beginning of time, though her followers believe that she's still alive and roams the world.
There was somebody looking for her.
Without more to go on, I'm afraid I cannot be of help. Can you stop pointing at me?
Try not to interrupt. Your shawl.
What about it?
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, I've seen material like it before.
It's very expensive.
More than once. Oh, more than very expensive.
How expensive?
Those are archfey wings.
Indeed.
That's expensive.
Very. I paid handsomely for them.
I feel like you're lying! It's out of character.
You can roll insight.
Yes, but my gut just says she is. My insight's gonna be really low, and you're gonna be like, you can't tell, so that doesn't really help me.
Being that
You feel
Nero
like she's
brought it up
being
and
truthful.
everything, can Starry also?
That's garbage! I feel like she's lying!
Could Starry also possibly roll, being that she's more on edge about anything Faye after what happened to her town?
Sure.
Sweet.
She already said she knows a lot about
Fae stuff. So like
That's
the
what
fact
I'm
that she
thinking.
has them is really strange to me.
She paid for them. But it might not have necessarily been money that she's talking about. It came at a price, is more of what she's referring to. Not necessarily a monetary value. When she says that she paid handsomely, doesn't mean coin. So she's not outright deceiving you.
What did you give up for it?
I would imagine a lot of celestial.
No.
That's a rather personal
What
question.
did she?
I don't owe you answers to those things. That is my private business. My commerce and trade is none of your concern.
Guys, I think you're being a little rude to someone who is taking time out of their day to help us out.
I agree.
I think that's everything we wanted to ask and discuss.
Good, because I was just about done with this conversation. And she stands up. Good day.
Thank you again for your help and insight.
And she walks out.
I'm gonna give her a slight. I'll give her a slight bow as she walks out.
As soon as the door shuts, Celebrant. That was creepy.
She knows
did-
Kurt. She's lying.
She didn't pay coin back.
Okay.
And she has
I get
multiple
that
magical
now.
items. I couldn't detect it.
That was creepy.
Also, there's only so many ways that somebody could have traveled with that big of an entourage here that quickly. They just got the message today. And we've all seen the Fae doors. Or whatever they're called. I
She
can't
doesn't
remember
want
the
her
name.
whole name getting out because the Fae can use it against her. She has Fae wings as a shawl, yet they're not connected beyond she paid for them. I agree with Stareye. It has to have been beyond monetary. And she knows
that. I get that.
that's what.
But guys, she was trying to help us.
Or
What are we
she
gonna
was
do every
trying to
time we
gain
meet someone
information to
who
use
has a
against you.
secret? Are we gonna be hostile towards everyone who has a secret? We all have secrets. I don't know what vendetta you have against her for this.
You
I'm
want to talk
curious
to me
too.
about vendetta, Beck? I don't want to hear it. She'll leave the room.
Jesus Christ, you're all acting like children.
Excuse you?
No, excuse you, Stareye. She was genuinely trying to help us. She was helping us. And the moment the conversation ended, you guys turned it around on her and started accusing her of things.
Because things have seemed weird since the beginning.
The whole world is weird. Just because you have an idle curiosity doesn't mean you can accuse her of things.
You think I would go off of something with just an idle curiosity?
You think I didn't notice you trying to cast a spell either? What would happen if it went off and all of her guards
couldn't hear you.
decided to attack us?
I'm gonna whisper something to Tavarian.
You know, for somebody who has acted so carelessly at other times, you're not anyone to talk.
Maybe I am, because maybe I'm trying to grow from it and trying to be better. The last few times I ran in head first didn't really work out for me, so I'm thinking.
Enough.
I'm
And
trying
so
to...
was
Everyone, enough. What's done is done. It does not matter now. It cannot be changed, and arguing with each other is not going to fix things. You all have valid points. She was trying to help. She did give useful information about a situation that directly affects you all. But she was also withholding information. Information that we do not know is helpful or harmful. And that is a very big liability. Not many know about the Guardian. Not by his name. But arguing with each other, yelling at each other, is only going to cause more problems, not fix them. That goes for all of you. Nobody is right here. Now, while some of you may be young, none of you here are children, and yet you are all acting like children. It is a wonder you have not died yet. If this is how you trust each other. We are standing in a holy place. The major house for the Queen of the Gods. The goddess of life, light, and order. We should act orderly in that presence. If you cannot have a mature conversation, then say nothing.
I think I'm done with today.
You do not leave before you make amends. Life is too short to hold grudges against your companions.
I'm not holding a grudge.
Then make amends before you leave. Do not leave room for resentment to build.
I'm sorry I yelled at you. Okay?
I don't act just because of curiosity, Beck. I act out of concern. It just didn't seem right.
What's done is done. I don't suppose we're staying at the Temple of the Ice Father for the night, so we made arrangements somewhere because I want to lay down. This has been too much for one day.
We haven't been able to find a place so far. The place I stayed at before is full, and frankly, Drago kind of terrified the innkeeper.
What's the other tavern
Unintentionally.
or inn? What's the name of it?
Sorry, I did not fully catch what you said.
I was asking for the name of the other inn, if there is one, because Beck doesn't know.
There's a long list of stuff that was said during that conversation, and I cannot remember it all.
The one that she mentioned was the sleepy
troll.
She said
Sleepy Troll.
there
Got
was another one, but she said that most people don't actually go there to sleep.
There's probably rooms available then. But I'm going to go check out the Sleepy Troll first.
That one is in the Nyalad district. Brenna speaks up. You are welcome to stay at the temple.
Zia looks at her. That's probably a good idea for me, at least.
I'll head to the troll.
Anyone who would like to is welcome to stay at the temple. To there, and I'm going to head back. And he just kind of nods. He has his arms wrapped around Nira, preventing her from running off. Beck, as you exit the room, the first thing you notice is that the entirety of the Maharani's entourage is gone. And even as
I
you
am not surprised.
and even as you exit the temple, there is no sign of them.
Is it? Can I ask the guy Shroud Guardian like what happened? Did any of them see what happened with the
No one-
Maharani?
They hightailed it out of here.
That's fair. Can't really blame him. Is it the same guard as before? Or is it a different one?
This is a different one. The guard from earlier is standing outside of the temple, not that far away.
Is Lady Tasha anywhere in sight?
She is, actually.
I'm gonna at least pay my respects to her before I leave.
Okay.
Thanks for looking out for me.
How did it go? Was she able to offer you any insight?
I will not die.
That is a relief.
I should have died the moment I drank it. But I'm not.
That does not surprise me. Well, now that I know that you are not a danger to my people, you are free to wander Volasnia. No longer bound to just Iosa.
That's fine. I was probably gonna stick around for at least a couple days.
You are more than welcome to, but there's no travel restrictions on you now.
I'm sure the others will at least appreciate that. Have a good day.
You as well.
I'm gonna give her a gold piece for donation.
She immediately hands it off to someone else.
I'm gonna go to the sleepy troll.
Okay. One second. Just because I like the art for the innkeeper at the Sleepy Troll. This is the lady who's sitting on top of the counter.
Oh, yes, I remember her now.
Was it in the Facebook group or because I don't see it?
It's on Foundry.
It did not pop up for me.
Try again. How about now?
Nope.
Try
You might
reloading.
need to refresh.
Yeah, try reloading and then I'll show you
I'll
again.
reload.
What is everyone else doing? As this day starts to come to a close. Let me know when you're back in, Jason.
Alright, now I've loaded in.
Alright, so let's try this again.
I mean, Celia plans on going to stay at the Temple of the Ice Father.
Oh, I see her.
Is anyone else going to the Sleepy Troll? Or is it just Beck?
Drago is.
Drago is? So Drago and Beck go to the Sleepy Troll. There is a little creature sitting on the counter, kind of doing her own thing. She doesn't really pay you any mind as you first come in.
Is this a troll?
She looks like a gnome
Oh.
or a halfling.
What did you call me? As she
My
looks
friend was.
I didn't know if you were the troll that this place is named after.
up. And what
I don't
if
think it's
I
named after a
am?
specific troll.
Well, I just
You
wanted
got a
to say
problem
that
with
it's-
trolls?
No,
Hmm.
I was just wondering if you were the troll.
Yeah, I am.
I was wondering if you had a room for rent.
Yeah, I do. What do you want to pay for it?
Brago
Oh.
looks at Beck.
I guess I'm paying for 2 rooms. How much for 2 rooms?
How much you want to pay for it?
I don't understand the question.
How much is it worth to you?
The silver piece? I don't know. You don't have a price? 3 silver
You
each? I don't know.
suck at haggling.
I did not understand that we were haggling. I just need a room to lay in.
And I asked you, how much is it worth to you?
Ma'am, I've had a really long day. Can we just skip to the part where you name your price and I give it to you?
Fine. 3 gold a room.
That is highway robbery.
1.
Then answer the question.
I will give you a gold for a room.
Fine. Then your total is 2 gold.
I put 2 gold on the counter.
She hands you back 2 keys.
I hand one to Drago.
Hey, our
I'm
beds
going to
ain't gonna
bed.
fit that thing. Too damn big.
True, true.
I don't suppose you can curl up a little bit. Are you still too big?
You break my beds, you buy me a new one.
That would be fair.
Drago, do you have your own money?
Yes, I have money.
Okay. I'm going to bed.
Do not look.
So they go to bed. Drago, the beds are very hard for you to get settled in.
Oh, I wasn't gonna sleep in the bed. I was just gonna strip the bed.
The rest of you,
Like, pull the mattress off, lay it on the floor, and like lay on like the mattress.
fair enough. The rest of you head back to the Temple of the Ice Father, where you have free lodging for the night. Feeling a bit fractured yet again, as tensions rise within the party. And kind of unsure where to go from here. With more questions than answers. And a very unsure future. And that is where we will end tonight's session.